Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales on Tap. Thank you so much for joining us for what is a very special one-shot. We hope that you're all doing well. We hope that you're having a wonderful day, week, and evening. Happy Tuesday to everybody, and this is the usual intro, but something's a little bit different tonight. As I'm sure you've all kept up to date with social media, we're doing a very special one-shot with some wonderful guests who have joined us from all over the D&D and tabletop RPG stratosphere, and I'm pleased to say that they are all here. They are all wonderful, all happy. Say hello, everybody!
Hello, everybody!
Hello. So, as I say, tonight is a very special one-shot. We are going to be playing Erelon, Voyage of the Damned. Now, don't take anything from that. Take it with a pinch of salt. We don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? They could be damned, they couldn't be. Who knows? We're going to find out, though. So, I am Dan. I'm the resident dungeon master here at Tales on Tap, as I'm sure you all know. But hey, it's not about me tonight. It's all about these wonderful folk in front of you. So, why don't we introduce some of you to the good people at home? Who do I pick on first? Miko, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone and tell us where are you from and where can we find more of your content?
Sure, why not? Hi everyone, I am Miko, otherwise known as the Okayest GM. You can find me on all the socials at the_Okayest_GM or in weird social media places that don't like underscores because they're weird, just take them out. I am a co-founder and creator over on Folk and Myth, a US-based Twitch stream. We try to do a lot of creative actual play stuff. We just launched our channel actually at the beginning of this year, where I have an ongoing Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign set in my own homebrew world of Ystera that I've been working on for many years. I've been streaming in for quite a while now, and we just started up our own very first long-form campaign. It's turning out to be a ton of fun. I have a great cast of people over there on that, and if you want to learn more about any of that stuff, you can go to folkandmyth.com, or you can check out theokayestgm.com, and that's where you can find me. Oh. And I'm super excited, by the way, to be here with a lot of these fine people. I've seen many of you seen or heard many of you in the space, and I'm glad to get to share a table with all of you.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for being here. Hey, Miko.
Yes, sir.
In D&D, do you prefer being a spellcaster or a martial class? And why do you prefer the one you do?
I absolutely prefer being a spellcaster because with age comes wisdom. And when I was a young lad, some 35 years ago, when I started playing Dungeons & Dragons, I played a lot of martial classes. And I got bored with it. And so these days, I'm very much a spellcastery sort. Plus, anyone that is familiar with the name Miko might know that its origins have some history with being referred to as individuals capable of casting spells upon you. So it fits.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. Who shall I pick on next? Chloe, do you want to introduce yourself and tell the good people at home where you come from and what you do?
Yeah, hello. My name is Chloe. That was a great hello, but you have to excuse me. My day job involves a lot of talking, and I've been doing that a lot today. But hey, I'm Chloe. I use she, her pronouns. And I'm from the podcast Deck of Many Aces, which is the only actual play podcast made with actual asexuals and aromantics. We've been going for about 3 years now, just over 3 years. We've got a homebrew world that is on the cusp of technological revolution, so it's like fantasy magic, but occasionally there's the odd like bit of electricity or something, and my character in particular has basically been missing for 70 years, so I'm just like wizardry every time it happens. Which is real fun. I play a bard / rogue, which is weirder than it sounds. So yeah, you can find me there. If you want to find that on social media, it's all on at Deck of Many Aces, literally everywhere. And if you want to find me and all of the many things I do, most of the other stuff I do is like on hiatus at the minute, but I'm at Chloe_ with the flow again, except in places that don't allow underscores, in which case take out the underscores. and Instagram, which has an underscore on the end because some very selfish person has my name.
Oh, that is not acceptable. We're going to have to do something about that. We will go to war for the name for your Chloe. That's no problem. So, I've always wondered, Chloe, we've played a couple of games together. When it comes to role-playing games such as Dungeons and Dragons or other TTRPGs, do you prefer the role-play element more or more of the heavy combat side of things?
Well, considering that I am a professionally trained actor, I think
it's all about combat then, right?
It's the combat.
It's all about
Yeah.
combat. I do also have a physics degree, to be fair. So
Escapism.
I guess it's the two sides of the same coin, but no, definitely the roleplay. I prefer roleplay so much. I always find excuses in combat to not be doing the combat because I'm like, but there's a mystery here and I have to solve it, and I'll go off and do something else.
Guys, look, a shiny thing! Very good. Well, thank you very much for introducing yourself and welcome to the Tales on Tap table. Jordan, do you want to introduce yourself to the people at home?
Hello, I'm Jordan of Modified Rule, and you may be surprised to learn this beard is fake and also really itchy, so it's probably not going to survive the whole show. But yeah, I
So you got 4 hours of that, man.
I know, it's already sweating under here. I am the current DM of the Modified Rule podcast. Joe, I was going to take this off so I can talk for a second. The current DM of the Modified Rule podcast. We've been going for a number of years now. We are an actual play D&D 5e podcast set in a open, constantly evolving world. I'm also a professional DM with Rule Dark, and I'm the founder of Actual Play UK, but I'm going to let John talk a little bit more about that because he just happens to be on the stream as well tonight, and he handles the actual stream, which is the fun part. But yeah, I've been D&Ding for quite a while, or D&D for quite a few years now. As you can see, I have tons of the shit here on my shelf, and yeah, I'm excited to be playing a game because, much like you, Dan, I am a forever DM, so this is great fun.
Awful, isn't it? But thank you so much for introducing yourself. So, given your years of experience, Jordan, you must have had plenty of time now to ponder upon the question I'm about to ask, which is, if you could take any magic item from the D&D world and bring it into our world now...
Rod.
Wow.
Immovable
No
rod.
hesitation. Why?
I have never seen an item in D&D be used so inventively and so game-breakingly as the immovable rod. Doesn't matter what game you're playing, if you give your players an immovable rod, you may as well have just shot yourself. Like, it is... They will always find a way to fuck you. And I say that as a player who has on numerous occasions been given an immovable rod. So...
You're making me really want to give my players an immovable rod now.
Yeah.
Look, they will either use it all the time or immediately forget it exists. There is no in between.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for introducing yourself, and again, welcome to Tales on Tap.
Thank you. Put this back on for now. There we go.
Well, it almost feels like Jordan threw the ball up for you to hit here, John. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell people where you're from?
Back of the net.
Nice.
The extent of our sports knowledge.
Sports. Yeah, I am John. I'm from two different places. Ooh. I'm from the Trolls of the Two Tunbridges podcast, where we were playing the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. And it's gone very much off the rails, so don't expect much Tomb of Annihilation, essentially. And then I am also part, as lovely Jordan has been kind enough to introduce me as, the technical person behind Actual Play UK. So I'm the person that puts all of the streams on, where we're doing every Friday. Essentially, we're getting as many different people as possible from various different aspects of the actual play realm. So that could be podcasts or streams, and yeah, essentially getting them together. A little bit like this, Dan.
I mean, it's weird how I've just come up with this weird concept of bringing people from the D&D and TTRPG realms to one stream. It's almost like it's never been done before, but it has obviously been done before.
Don't worry, Dan. The cease and desist is in the meal.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. I was expecting it. Let's try and get through to the end of the second session before we sign any paperwork, right? So, John, I've always wondered, what's your favourite race in D&D and why?
Three-legged.
Nice, yeah. And is that two people that you're tying the legs together, or are we talking a tripod here?
Just a tripod.
Nice.
It's a centaur, but they have to tie up one of his legs.
Yes.
Or just a lot of very confident individual men.
Fun fact, centaurs have 2 rib cages. Ponder that.
Very true.
They have 2 of a lot of things. You don't want to be thinking about it too long, trust me.
I liked the confidence with which you said that.
I know.
I have proof.
Hey, the last time I played an artificer it was a centaur, and this was the entire stream.
So where is your heart? Is it here, or is it like down in this area?
Ow, my heart. What are you grabbing?
And it begins.
Yes. Actual races. I don't know really. It's a bit hard to say. I've not played all of them, so it's. I think I have a little bit of a soft spot for races that are perhaps like a little bit like a bird or a little bit like a cat, and you know what I mean. So they're humanoid, but they're Kenku or other. So yeah, I'd say something like that.
Oh, amazing.
Or just human,
Yeah. Nothing wrong with humans.
Human variant.
Okay, yeah, then there's something wrong with humans. Human variant, however, is very good. Well, thank you very much for introducing yourself, John, and welcome to the table. Ruth, hi.
Hello.
How does it feel being on the other side of the screen, being on the stream?
It's very weird. I'm used to just typing comments at you.
Yeah. Well, do you want to introduce yourself to the good people at home?
Hello, I'm Ruth. I am usually a listener, viewer of Tales on Tap. I've been playing D&D for nearly 10 years now, off and on. And I'm here to have a bit of fun tonight.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And for the more eagle-eyed viewers who have been with us a while will know that we did a giveaway in December where there was the chance to win a seat at the table, and Ruth managed to win a seat at the table. It's all very exciting.
It's...
So
and you ended up stuck with us.
I
God
know,
love you.
I know. Look, we know
Sorry.
in the small print it did say that we never said the prize was going to be good. We just said you've just won this.
Also, this is the thing. You guys are assuming I'm stuck with you, and it's not the other way around.
Oh no. Up the stream.
Excellent. So, Ruth, I've always wondered, what's your favourite class in D&D? Like your go-to class if you were building a character?
I quite often go barbarian.
Yeah?
Yeah. On paper, they are so simple, and a lot of people just think, oh, you just go and hit things, but I always find them something you can have a lot of fun with, and there can be a lot more RP opportunity with them. And you can just have a lot of fun. So...
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for introducing yourself, and welcome to the table. And last but certainly not least, Dan. Hi, mate.
Hi, how you doing? I don't need an introduction. I'm not the interesting one here. It's everyone else.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
old.
So, moving
Yes.
on. Well, we do have many viewers at home that might not know who you are. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where you're from and what you do?
So, hello everyone. I am Dan. I am a regular player here for Dan DM. Once we did it the other way around, it went all right. We don't switch anymore.
Do not speak.
Wow.
Yeah. This is what I tend to do. I will just say things and make him lose track of everything that's going on, so we can finagle in the background. It's how you do D&D.
Yeah.
Make the DM laugh and then do things while they're not looking. Yeah, I've been playing on and off I say on and off. I've been playing for about 4 or 5 years-ish, give or take. Found my forever group about 2-ish years ago, nearly 2.5 years ago, when I met this guy and then everyone else who's usually here. Yeah, this is what I do on a Tuesday.
You do tend to ramble on a bit, Dan. You are right. You just
Look,
it's
I said you could have moved on. You did this.
So, Dan, Before
Yes,
we
Dan.
obviously get into game time, we should ask you a very important question. So I want to ask you, have you ever multi-classed before when playing D&D? And if you have, what did you multi-class into and how fun was it?
I have multi-classed once with my last proper character in this campaign with Jove. I started out as a blood hunter and moved quickly into barbarian because story stuff made it make sense that I choose barbarian. It was, to be honest, I wish I'd picked barbarian and just run with that straight away, but it is quite fun to have the mix and figure it out and have regrets, have 20/20 vision, realize you're fine, still carry on with the character you got because you love doing it. But yeah, I've multi-classed once. It was unintentional but fun.
Yeah, and Han did say you multi-class with Lucian as well, so you know.
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot about Lucian.
We'll move on,
Yes.
Dan. It's all right.
Yeah, no,
You've made a bold claim there that said you've only done it once. Someone's called you out in the comments. You've instantly made, it's fine. We'll move on. But
forgot.
Dan, welcome to the table again, sir. Thank you so much for coming down on a Tuesday. It's so nice of you.
I know. I thought I'd grace you with my presence. It's fine.
So nice. So, as we say, we're going to dive into a very nice one-shot. This will be the third one-shot I've ran within my homebrew world of Erelon. This is the second one I'm running on our channel. I'm actually running one as we speak over on Actual Play UK. So if you want to check that out, the first episode of that goes live tomorrow night. So if you've got nothing on tomorrow, put Actual Play UK on and get more of this. Then
And if you do have something on, cancel it and stay in.
do that. Exactly. But as always, we do have a few announcements to get through before we dive into tonight's session. I will try to wrap this up because I don't have the usual 4 people that will waiting in the wings to do the announcements, so I'm going to try my best to do them. So, we have some wonderful sponsors of our shows here at Tales on Tap. We have our long-term friends over at Valkyrie RPG. You can find them over at valkyrie-rpg.co.uk. They are a salesman of everything you need to play D&D and other tabletop RPG systems. They've got source books, dice, they've got terrain, apparel, they've got cool posters, they've got so much stuff. Head over to there to check them out. There is a link down in the About section of Twitch. Click on the banner, it'll take you straight to their website, and if you use Tales10 at checkout, you get 10% off store-wide purchases. They have also got a giveaway that they are running for Valentine's Day. I haven't got the whole spiel of the details to I will get them, though, because this is really, really cool. The 2 seconds while I pull this up. 1 sec. Announcements. There we go. So, they're giving away a Dreamy Bundle for Valentine's Day. It's their first giveaway of 2024. You head over to Valkyrie-RPG and there is a widget on that page that you can click, enter the giveaway, and you can be in with a chance of winning a wooden heart-shaped dice box, which looks really cute. There is a few sets of dice available, so head over there, enter the giveaway, and you could surprise your loved one with a lovely set of dice from Valkyrie RPG. Another one of our lovely sponsors is Awfully Queer Heroes. If you are neurodivergent or you're looking for inclusive material to introduce to your gaming table, then head over to Awfully Queer Heroes. You can find them on Drive-Thru RPG. They also have a new Kickstarter coming out in March for The Tale of Two Princes.
Yes.
Pirate
adventure.
Yeah, it is a pirate adventure. I'm not very good at this. This is why I rely... Tale of Two Queens, thanks Dan. This is why I rely on the other people doing this bit, because I'm awful at this bit. Tale of the Two Queens, thank you so much. So yeah, head over there and check that out. We are also going to be doing a review of that source book in the near future. So if you want to find out all the juicy gossip and the juicy inside information, then head over to YouTube and you'll be able to see that very, very soon. Things that we've got upcoming. So obviously we still have Erelon, A Destined Journey, that happens every week on a Tuesday. Towards the end of February, we are having a 2-week break because I'm going on my honeymoon. So Yeah, so I'll be abroad, so we'll be having 2 weeks off towards the end of February, but we have lots of things in the pipeline that are very exciting that we're working on. Of course, we launched the podcast recently, so if you do want to listen to us on the go in bite-sized chunks, then find us anywhere that you cast your pods, and you can find us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, all that fun stuff. Dan, have I forgotten anything? Yeah, social media. Thank you.
Yeah, social media.
Thanks. We're all over social media as well. So we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. All the links are downstairs in the dungeon. Make sure that you go into the About section. You can find all the information that you need to find out more about Tales on Tap. You don't have to subscribe to our channel. You just have to be here, watch along with us. You don't have to press that lovely button that does all the fun things downstairs. But if you want to, and you want to do it for free, then Amazon Prime. If you pay for that, then you can link your account to your Twitch account and get a free subscription every month. And look, you don't have to spend it here. You can go spend it with another D&D show. We don't really care. Just come and sit with those idiots every Tuesday, and that's all we really ask. Dan, have I forgotten anything?
No, I think that's it.
Success!
I'm not a reliable source.
Success!
It's close. It's
amazing.
close.
Yeah. We'll sign it off. We're good. We're good. Tune in next week when I do this again and fuck it up even more. So I think that about wraps up all the announcements. So guys, do you want to play some D&D?
Let's go.
Yes,
Let's do it. So, if you guys at home haven't done this already, then go and get a drink. You've got about 10 seconds before the session starts, so go, go, go! As we dive into tonight's episode of Tales on Tap.
You got it.
Welcome.
If I can't hear the music.
Welcome, everybody, to the world of Erelon. A vast skyscape of floating islands hanging high in the air, miles above the Forgotten Realms. So high, in fact, that neither know each other exist. Plot twist. Campaign 2 might reveal some stuff. We join our adventurers as they soar through the skies aboard an airship. What's the airship called, guys? To be confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh, was not me the airship Gestus?
Gesestus.
Nice. That was it. The airship Gestus.
Nice.
There we go.
All aboard the airship Gestus.
Our group of adventurers who have picked up a job in the island of Skyhaven, leaving the port of Windmere, they set off towards Evercrest. Though nobody knows what they're hauling, they know that it's valuable. For the successful completion of this trip, each crew member is set to earn 200 gold pieces each. Which speaks to the magnitude of the goods that they're traveling. You guys have been aboard the skyship for about 4 days at this point. We pick up this evening around midday on the 4th day. The wind bellowing past the sturdy wooden airship. All of you, since boarding this ship, have taken it upon yourselves to give yourselves jobs. Whether that be navigation, cooking, whatever the case may be. Kept yourselves busy for 4 days, and have made good time up till now. The winds have been fair, but that may soon change. As this graceful airship, beating against the wind, travels at high speed towards Evercrest, the camera pans around. See? Mind Palace, guys. Mind Palace. We're all there. We're there. This is just painting a picture, you know? As we come into focus, we see one individual stood towards the bow of the ship, looking out across the horizon ahead. ahead. Dan, would you like to describe your character, please, and tell the good people at home who you're playing?
So, stood towards the bow of the ship, seemingly trying to sort of read cloud patterns, see where winds are blowing in from. There's a few navigational tools kicking around, sort of all those kind of things. You see Haystack. Haystack has been a bit of an enigma for all of you since boarding the vessel. They kind of came on with the intention saying that they're a very good navigator and have been up to this point, but none of you can really figure out really what they're about. They seem to just do their own thing. Haystack he's about 6 foot tall, 6'2", including the hair. Most prominent feature, a huge bushel of blonde hair that seems to just stick out from every angle conceivable and fall down his back, sort of come out of places like there is just... It's his namesake. You're not even sure if it's his real name, but he is just called Haystack. Seems to be elven in nature. He has pointed ears that sort of come out of the hair with little red tips. He's a very fair, sort of gentle face, sort of half-closed eyes, a smile most of the time, sort of sunshine freckles when it gets really bright. He has basic sort of leathers and a sort of a crimson and reddish color underneath this shawl that is hexagonal in design, so it looks like honeycomb. And it sort of falls over and the sleeves come down and there's no points to it, it's just lots of hexagons. And on his back is this large bell-shaped beehive strapped to his back, and you can just hear the gentle hum of bees as they sort of fly in and out of this thing, and every so often you swear you can hear him talking to someone in there. But yeah, he just has this very sort of mellow, cool, calm, just vibe as he sits just looking out at the winds.
I love that. Just Haystack vibing.
Yeah, pretty much. Just vibing in the front.
I love that.
I'm sure if he's doing his job.
So you're currently stood on the bow of this airship with the wind catching this huge mat of hair sticking out in all directions. And as you are looking out on the horizon, a voice from beside you, as one of your fellow crewmates sort of steps towards you. Miko, would you like to describe your character, please, and tell us who you're going to be playing this evening?
Sure. I am playing Grimhallen Durak, otherwise known as Grim. He is a elder dwarf gentleman in the latter half of his life. He has heavily tanned skin from many years in the skies. His beard and what little bits of facial hair he has above his eyes, it's the only hair you know him to possess, are stark white. He keeps it relatively unkempt, just barely held together with a nice cuff around the end of it. He has a couple of piercings in his ears. He's fairly tall for a dwarf, not quite 5 foot, but decent height. And he dresses very casually, looks almost maybe frumpy to some people, but that is primarily because of his companion. He has I say small, but he's a chunky boy, a pseudo dragon that is black and brass in coloration that goes by the name of Benny, who likes to hide himself in various portions of Grimm's attire. And so as he approaches Haystack, he just kind of clears his throat. Hey, sunshine. How you doing? I don't suppose you have any new honey for me, mate.
Oh, hey, good morning, Grim. Did you sleep well? Are you doing good? How's the day for you?
I always sleep well, always.
That's nice. I like that. I mean, when the bees want to give you some honey, they will. I ain't gonna force them, but maybe later on today we can get some tea for you. How about that?
Well, if you can come up with perhaps a couple of cloves, I can maybe add it to the dinner tonight for everybody. I've got something special planned for you.
Oh, well, I like a surprise. I'll see what the queens say. If they don't mind giving you some of the comb, then sure, I'll get some out for you. But yeah, I'll see what they say. I don't mess with the bees. I just keep them.
Fair enough.
And
And at
as-
that point,
That needs to be on a shirt.
Benny just kind of pokes his head out from behind Grim's beard, and just without even thinking about it, Grim just pulls a treat out of a pocket and just feeds it to him, and then scurries his way back underneath.
Amazing. And as this conversation is ongoing, we kind of pan round towards the helm of the ship, where you all see this individual stood manning the ship's wheel. Very calm, cool, and collected individual. As you all see, as I find the art, because I've not picked it up, there it is. You see this beautiful red-haired human lady with this beautifully adorned blue captain's jacket with this gold filigree and huge gold buttons down each side of the jacket. You see that they have a bandolier across their chest with this musket that's kind of tucked in into a holster on the bandolier, as she kind of looks down towards your character, Chloe, and goes, are you quite finished with that? I know you said you could improve things, but this has taken nearly 3 days.
No, well, I can't find the right part. It's in here somewhere. I'm gonna have a look.
And there's just like Jeremiah has a big bag full of stuff that they're just like throwing things all over, and they're just like, no, this one, and tries to like ram things in where they don't go. No, not quite. And all of that.
Amazing. Could you please describe your character for us, Chloe, and tell us who you're going to be playing this evening?
So I'm playing Jeremiah Scratch, who is a sort of 3.5 foot tall, red-skinned kobold with very large goggles that they wear pretty much all the time. And Jeremiah is kind of dressed in almost like a waistcoat and cravat, and like as if they were trying to be some kind of Victorian gentleman, but in fact he's very, very scruffy and covered in oil. He's constantly got their attention on something to do with the ship and tinkering, and is always carrying bits and bobs of various things that don't even really make sense. Like they've always got a spanner, but then they'll also be holding some other weird metallic pipe that looks like it's probably quite important, but they've ripped out somewhere. And is like constantly scrambling around the ship, and everybody at this point would be aware, like, do not interrupt Jeremiah when they're doing something. They're usually quite calm, but he will very quickly be incredibly annoyed if you interrupt him or if you touch anything that they've tinkered with. They're like,
No, it's working my way.
Amazing. As the captain of the ship just kind of looks over towards you and goes, okay, but you are going to put things back the way they were.
But the way they were was inefficient.
And the captain kind of turns to their side, where we see your character, Jordan, around 5 or 10 feet away from the captain, almost like very much just watching every kind of like turn of the steering wheel. But if you would like to describe your character first.
Sort of leaning on a railing, watching this interaction. The first thing you see isn't my character, it's the cloud of smoke that sort of hangs around him everywhere he goes. As you see, just a constantly, it was going to be a cigar, but I couldn't find a fake cigar, so it's a pipe, constantly smoking a pipe that just is never put out, and he's just following this. But unlike our Grim, he is a sort of short, stocky dwarf, a long beard, which I've now taken off because the sweat was getting unbearable, and he always looks just very dour, he's always watching everything with a very calm and sort of solemn expression. And interestingly, very key feature. He's constantly got this white skull painted on his face in sort of reverence to his deity, Baron Samedi. And as he leans on the railing, smoking a pipe, there's a glass in his hand full of what everyone knows to be rum. Slancha. And as he leans over, watching Jeremiah, he just taps the pipe on the railing once and says, "Aye, if you don't put my bloody lights back in my inspection room, there'll be hell to pay."
I put the lights back. They're a better color now.
Aye, but they make everything look blue.
Yeah, because blue is better for seeing things. Everybody knows that.
Not when what you're trying to see is blood.
Yeah, but like the blood is darker. You don't want to
Just
see
put
red
them
blood.
back.
It's really unfortunate.
Aye, 'tis. And I like to put it back where it was, if I can find it.
You're just not looking properly. I'll help you next time.
Takes a big drag of the pipe and blows out a smoke ring towards Jeremiah.
Captain of the ship just kind of leans towards you, Halvin, and just goes, "I'm starting to see a pattern here, and I don't like it."
The wee one's fine, but he better fix my bloody lights.
Well, are we on the right course? You're there in the crow's nest. Are we heading in the right direction? And as the captain of the ship shouts up towards your character, Ruth, as you're currently perched in the crow's nest of the ship, high above the rest of them. Could you please describe your character first, please?
So Illy is very elegant. She looks elven, but she's a Shadakai. So for all her time spent sailing the skies, she does not tan. She is still the palest and the fairest. Masses of lovely wavy dark hair. Very smartly turned out. Classic sailor's wear, but just really well cut, and a flute tucked into her boot. And hearing the captain shout, she's just going, I thought Haystack was in charge of telling us which direction we need to be going.
Then what are you doing up there? That is... Honestly, have any of you...
I'm keeping an eye out for... Actually, no, I'm not sure what I'm doing up here. It just got a bit hazy down there, and
You say
Jeremiah
that, I just give you a little wave.
Oh, that reminds me. I did pick up some white bulbs at the last stop we made. I'll try and convince Jeremiah to put them in for you. There's the option to put them back at least.
You just see the captain's eyes just almost like glaze over as they just stare off into the horizon, just slowly shaking their head. And as they kind of like come back into focus and like, okay, well, sure, look, it's just a one-time trip. You swore that you'd never do this again, but here we are. It's going to be fine. They're not going to destroy anything, and we're going to get home safe. And as they're saying this, you hear this quite heavy footsteps as John, your character, comes up from the hull of the ship onto the top deck. Could you please describe your character for us?
Yeah. This a dwarven gentleman. I say he's a gentleman, but he's bald, covered in tattoos. At various points in his arms, there are these kind of metal clasps around. So his whole physique is actually, it looks quite threatening. He has a kind of a straight, slightly greying beard. And he's at the back of his head, he's got these two very large kind of knots of hair, almost dreadlocked, one either side, and they just kind of fall either side of his body. By his sides, these flails. There are two. There's one on each side. Just kind of move around, and so you hear this kind of ching, ching, ching as he's walking along. It's an ill omen, I tell you.
Oh, not again with the... Oh.
Nope. You must listen to me, Captain. Look, I appreciate that you allowed me to come on board, despite the fact that, this is a doomed ship.
Well, yes, but you are right, but then within the first 4 hours you were spreading salt in every doorway in case killer seagulls were to attack.
Well, you know what they're like, Captain. They get everywhere.
Oh my goodness, we're all going to die out here, aren't we?
I told you that, Captain. I was very honest with you.
Well,
Look, if the Baron says it's our time to go, it's our time to go.
well, it's a good job that I signed that very important insurance document with that Kenku fella back in Windmere. Very convincing.
He was a delightful chap, if I may say so.
But then I just turned and he'd vanished. It was surreal. But look, at least we're insured, so if anything happens, hey, payday for us. So, but nothing's going to happen, right, guys? We're all fine. And you all kind of get the sense after spending 3 or 4 days on this ship that this is very much one of the longest maiden voyages of this captain's life. They are very green round the gills and are just like sunny optimism within the first 2 days, and now it's very much like, I regret everything about this whole ordeal. But you
As
all...
she stood at the helm, I just reached the bottle of rum that Tazy always has on his build-over tour.
And she's never taken a drink because she's a professional. She will not drink on the job. But at this point, she just kind of like reaches over without looking and just bang. Just, oh.
Oh, don't forget. Clap twice.
Of course. And
If you share a
claps.
bottle, clap twice.
Clap twice, of course. Of course. And you kind of see her just take out this very small, like, parchment notebook and just jots down, clap twice. Okay. Pops it back in. You all gather on the top deck of this ship. Captain turns and goes, well, so far so good. I estimate another 2 days worth of travel, and then we should reach Evercrest.
Not if I've got anything to say about it. I've been working on something for the propellers. I think we can do it in like 1.5.
Oh.
I like for a split second, everyone takes that as a threat.
Yeah, like... Okay, but you said that about the sail 2 days ago, and that is... that is still in...
Yeah, that
pieces.
didn't work out quite so well, but
And
at
then-
least the sail looks nicer now.
Yeah, and the thing you said about the rudder that you started to work on in the first day, that still makes this awful clank whenever I turn the wheel, but...
I forgot about that. Yeah, I didn't finish that.
We've not been able to turn left for days. We'll have to go right 3 times.
Yeah, it would just in a full circle. It takes time and... yeah.
Oh, that's fine. If I fix the propeller, it won't matter.
Oh, okay.
Jeremiah, sweetie, how about, since we all know how you hate it when we get in your way, why don't you wait to make the upgrades till we're in dock? Then we won't be on the ship to get in your way.
This does make logical sense. But if I wait until we're in dock, then we'll still take 2 days. It defeats the purpose.
Aye, but it means we can get back faster.
But if we get there faster first, then we can also get back faster.
I think at this point, as he just wanders down, the Jeremiah just picks you up by the scruff and says, right, we're going to do it this way. And just carries you out of the room.
Dana, unhand me! You always do this!
Well, somebody has to.
Haystack and Grim, as you guys continue this conversation about getting the honey for the evening meal, I'd like one of you to make me a perception check, please. Either one of you or both of you, or one of you can roll with advantage. You can help. I don't mind. Whatever you like.
You want to roll?
Sure, why not? That's what we're here to do, right?
Yeah, let's roll some dice!
Yeah, let's do it.
The first comment, that can't be good.
I rolled... Oh, I thought I was... I rolled 13 twice.
Ooh, that's not a bad omen at all.
For a total of 15 with my plus 2
15.
modifier, so...
as you're talking to Haystack, you catch a glimpse of the horizon over their shoulder. Black clouds and storm gathers on the horizon, and the crack of thunder ever faintly on the wind.
Look at Haystack. Well, that's no good, Sunshine. I thought you said you could do something about the weather for us.
Oh, oh no, no, I ain't no druid. I just read the weather, man. It's
right.
I know where the air
And
goes. I know.
Now
where
we're just
winds-
now seeing this mess. Come on.
I mean, and to use one of the magic items I picked, he sort of. I mean, I looked at the weather today and opens up his cloak, and because I took the forecaster's cloak, what little image shows up when I open it up to like see what the weather's going to be?
It's a glistening sun with a lightning cloud just hovering above it.
Oh yeah, you can see. Yeah, the thunder's coming in from the southeast. There's a warm breeze coming in from. Oh, that's not good. I mean, it's fine. Look, we'll just get above the storm. We'll ride the harder winds. Maybe we'll get a bit of traction going. We're fine, Grim. Don't worry. It's all good, my friend.
I hate it when we get too high, though. My breathing, it gets harder for me to breathe.
Sounds like one of you two is usually quite high.
Stack's literally like, totally, man.
Yeah, dude, it's all fine. I mean, the weather is like, oh, shit.
It's just trippy as fuck, dude.
I guess I'll go tell the captain then, since you're not gonna...
You haven't really given me a chance. I've got all my navigation equipment out. Like, you've just... Come on, man. Don't... Let's not bring the ship down. It's just a little rain.
Fine. You go tell the captain I'm going below decks and starting dinner.
Okay. You keep those pots steady, because if this thing starts to rock, I don't want you getting burned. And he said that wasn't meant to be as threatening as it sounds, but you can never quite gauge with Haystack because there's just such a mellow term. He just starts
That's why I
pulling
call
away,
him
like,
Sunshine.
hoists the hive back on. You can hear the bees sort of quiet down a bit as the crack of thunder comes into the background, and in a very chill manner, just sort of makes his way up to the captain. He's like, "Hey, Cap, storm's coming."
Oh, drat. Well,
Yeah. Get above it if we start moving up now.
I don't. Oh well, we can certainly try. Sure. Let's try. Why not? Rebus, be a dear. Could you possibly tighten the main line? We need a little bit more taut in the sails to be able to gather some altitude here.
Hoist the main brace, sir.
That is exactly what I meant. That was. Do you know I've been testing you since you've been on board, and I have to say, flying colours so far, Rebus. Your assessment at the end will go swimming, I am sure.
Will there be a test?
Yes. Look, who knows? Maybe this is the test. But would you act any differently if it were?
By me?
Then no, it's not a test.
Okay, sir.
You
No
tighten
problem.
up the main thingy that you said that was right.
The main brace. Okay. It's
I'm
my
sorry, but
Roman
I just-
though.
Sorry, Dan. Listen, have you ever listened to The Longest Johns?
Yeah.
So, sea shanty group, UK based, they do a song which is all about a guy who's fresh out of uni, finds an ad for a ship's captain, knows nothing about ships, and the chorus goes, "Hoist up the thing, batten down the what's that thing spinning, somebody should stop it."
That's very much the epitome of this captain. Is very much like, yeah, let's do that. Sure. And you're all starting to realize now that this captain will very much, if you go, let's go above the storm, she'll be like, yeah, sure, let's go above it. Why not? Like, you guys are seasoned veterans. You know what you're talking about. Why not? So as you go onto the main deck and start tightening up the main bracer, Make me an athletics check, please, Rebus.
Dice.
do
D.
a roll for me, baby.
As athletics, yes?
Yes, please. Was that a natural 20?
That is a natural 20. Honestly.
Hey.
Amazing.
Nice.
You, with so much ease, just start dragging on this main line, and you start to see the main sail start to get a bit taut to catch more of the wind. And as you do and you pull for the final time, you all hear an audible crack at the base of the main sail. And as you all look, you see Jeremiah's toolbox with lots of different components scattered about the base of this main sail as you hear this audible.
So, out of curiosity, how big would you say this crack is?
I would say it's a fairly substantial crack.
Substantial enough that mending wouldn't help?
It's hard to tell. You'd have to go in and investigate it, I'm afraid.
I mean, I imagine we're probably halfway down the hall, so we hear the crack, me still holding Jeremiah, and I just look at you and go, "What have you done, wee man?" And run back into the bridge.
Here, I haven't done anything.
Sprint back to the bridge. I'm holding you out in front of me like a canary in a mine shaft.
Jeremiah, as you are brought immediately in front of...
Just a reminder, I am only about 4.5 feet tall. You're barely off the ground.
With your little legs kicking, Jeremiah, you kind of get brought to the main sail, and you kind of look down, and you're like, yeah, this all looks right, and then you see the one key nut that you should have tightened just kind of on the floor next to it, and you're like, ah.
Yeah. I got distracted. It's fine. I can fix it.
I can cast mending if I try and
me and you just flashing mending at this thing.
Ah!
Cantrip.
Illy,
That's
as this is happening in this mass hysteria of flashes of mending with Jeremiah with a ratchet just trying to tighten down this bowl, what are you doing in this moment of chaos?
I think I'm gonna just walk up and be like, right. What do you need? I probably have it in the stores.
A better ratchet would help.
A refill. No, hold up my empty glass.
No, that's a given. I just pull a bottle of rum out of one of my pockets.
Oh, you're a star. Refills the glass while I'm casting mendings with one hand, just flashing at it. For the record, I do most my pipe is my spell casting focus. So what actually happens is I take a big inhale and then breathe on it as it comes out, it sparkles, and that's what casts the mending.
Nice.
So we've got Jeremiah on the lights. We've got you on the smoke machine. So it's just a raid at this point.
Immediately, that's exactly
Just
what
pull the flute out.
So,
right.
As this is happening, Grim, we'll keep the same perception check that you've made, and you see that the captain of the ship is kind of pulling hard on the ship's steering wheel to try and gain altitude, and you see it is gradually gaining, but very much leveling off, gaining maybe a few feet, leveling off, and you can hear this churn and this creak of the ship trying to gain altitude. It doesn't look promising though, but you are heading, and it starts to strike you as odd as you start looking towards the horizon, and this storm starts encroaching quicker than you would expect, and it strikes you as a little bit strange, but it moves towards you. I'd like you to give me a general... Just roll me an intelligence check, first of all.
Okay. I was going to ask, is there any potential for an arcane nature to be involved with this particular weather anomaly?
Well, let's roll that first, and then we will go into the arcane nature. Also...
I have proficiency in Arcana as well, but hang on a second.
No problem. So, interesting question from the viewers. Can we use channel points today? Of course you can. You can redeem your channel points. So much so, Brabsy has redeemed channel points to give a player inspiration and has given you inspiration, Grim.
Oh, good. I'm going to need it because I just rolled garbage. So I will try that again.
Oh, and now they're all coming in thick and fast. Jeremiah, you
And it
also
got
have
worse.
inspiration.
It got worse. I assume I have to take the second roll. That would be a natural 1.
Okay.
I mean, if it's advantage, you just take the higher one.
Yeah, it's inspiration, so just take the higher roll.
Well, 9 total.
9. Okay. That's okay. You notice this is against the wind. Okay. So this storm is seemingly moving towards you, but against the wind, which strikes you as odd. And now, based on that kind of information, if you'd like to roll an arcana check to see if there's any arcane properties.
Because I'm much better at Arcana. Total of 21.
21. It does strike you as very odd, and it would give you the impression that there is something controlling this storm in order for it to move against the wind the way that it is.
All right. In that case, I think that Grim would go over to... probably go over to Elia, actually, and just kind of lean in a little bit and say, "Hey, Slick, there's something a bit funky about that cloud out there. It's not moving quite right. I think someone might be controlling it. What say you?"
That's some, well, controlled or not, I'm heading down to get ropes so that we don't get blown off the ship.
Might be a good idea.
I think I was grabbing a ratchet for Jeremiah anyway. Let's get ropes, get everyone tied on.
Aye. I'll come and help you. And then I'm going to yell up to the
goodness we
captain.
have Ely.
"Hey, Captain, you might want to be careful. I think there's somebody controlling that storm. It's heading straight at us no matter what you do."
Oh, don't be silly. Nobody can control the storms but the gods. What kind of magician would be able to do such a thing?
They said that about my cannon once.
Ah.
And I also think they're called wizards, Cap. Or druids.
Magic-y folk? Are they not magicians? Magicians? Is that's not the...
Grim just follows Ely downstairs and starts scratching Benny's head. Like,
just kind of...
"Oh, what have we gotten ourselves into, Benny? Oh."
Rebus, as you are battening down and tying up the mainsail to kind of get it a taut, is there anything you'd like to do at this point?
We believe that this is probably down to cats.
Do you say that to the captain?
Oh, yeah.
He immediately just goes,
No, listen to me, Captain. See, cats can be bad luck if you don't keep them fed and watered. So the ship's cat has obviously had, a bit of a difficult time of it recently. And that's the reason for the storm.
This is the first any of us learn of the fact that ship's cats.
You just see Haystack lean from behind the cat and go, "We have a cat?"
The captain just goes, what? The ship's cat?
It's a well-known lore of the air.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
The ship's cat, of course.
The magic stored in their tails, Captain.
He's right. I've been having a standoff with it. It keeps trying to get in the engine.
The captain's immediately like, "Wait, we have an engine?"
We do now.
What the fuck?
It's a V8.
Just see Jeremiah just
Certainly
blowing
not
into
powered
the
by
engine.
hopes and dreams.
I mean, far be it from me to cast aspersions on little tiddles, but it may well be a magician. But I put my money on the cat.
Yes, those magicians, they are troublesome folk. Well, if we... It doesn't look like we can go around or over. We either go under or through. But that is moving quickly. So we must make a decision now. What'll it be?
Looking over the edge towards the storm, do I see a lot of rain underneath this incoming storm, or is it just empty air and thunder?
It seems to be empty air and thunder, and kind of flashes of light within this darkened cloud.
I mean, I'm no aerospace engineer or anything, but looking at that storm, I don't see much rain, so I think going through might be a good idea. Keep ourselves out of the wet should it, come down. Also, if we have a cat, maybe we should throw it off if it's the thing causing the problems.
Please do.
No.
With the captain shouting about it being the work of the gods, could I make a religion check?
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and roll a religion check, please.
See if this is something of a religious nature. 7.
Doesn't strike you as such. You know that
I only
obviously...
look up briefly from casting the ending.
Like, doesn't strike me as God. No.
It's not the work of Baron Sandy. Carry on.
Looking, so in the airspace we're in now, just one with the captain, can I don't know what check it would be, I suppose nature, to try and basically do my job properly this time and find like the optimal airstreams to push us into to give us more speed going towards this thing, so we're not sort of going against any wind currents, we're actually sailing with them.
Okay, make me a nature check and then I'm followed with a survival check then, please, if you don't mind.
Will do.
Oh my gosh, I've just noticed, because of all our generous viewers, we are 5 subscribers away from hitting our 50 subscriber sub goal. That is insane. So thank you very much, everyone at home. So good.
So nature is 14.
Okay.
Survival is dirty 20.
Ooh. Look, Haystack, you're accustomed to this. You know what you're talking about, man. Yeah. You know?
I know these airs. It's fine.
So, yeah,
We just hit 50.
Oh, let's fucking
There we
go.
go.
Amazing. Thank you so much, folks. It's quite easy for you to pick this out. You very much just kind of like get onto very much like the very front of the ship, and you are very much just kind of like directing left, right, up, down as you start catching this wind stream through.
Nice.
Grim and Illy, you race down into the hull of the ship. And as you race down the 2 flights of stairs, you start feeling the ship just kind of like get jostled from side to side ever so slightly as you start to hit turbulence. So you're grabbing rope.
Yeah,
And
I would have had rope specifically for the purpose of tying us down in the event of bad weather, stashed just below deck, so it's the first thing we could grab.
Okay. Grim, as the ship is being tossed from side to side and you feel this turbulence, do you just start continuing making your way to the kitchen? Or do you want to do anything else?
Well, does Ely need help, first of all?
Depends how much rope you get in, I suppose, Illy.
I think there's a few of us to tie down. The faster we get tied down, the safer.
Okay. And if that is the impression that Grim has, then he will forego going to the kitchen. He can clean up the mess later if it needs to be cleaned. He's used to having to start his dishes all over again with Jeremiah around. So he will very quickly give Benny a bit of a scritch on his chin and telepathically command him to seek out the spanner for Jeremiah. And then he will go over immediately and start helping Ely, just thrusting bushels of the tied up ropes onto his shoulders.
Amazing. As you sort of like run over to where Jeremiah has stacked 4 or 5 different various size toolboxes and tool bags, and you notice that You open one, and it's just all screwdrivers of all different lengths, sizes, shapes. Open the next one, and there's about 6 different shapes and, like, weighted hammers. And you kind of open, and it's like, oh, this is the wrench bag. Excellent. And there's, like, 50 different size wrenches, and just kind of blind, just grab 2 or 3 out, shove them into a pocket, and then start...
Not in any kind of order.
Benny is doing that. Benny's just, like, swooping in and picking up the first one that he sees. He's a pretty smart fella.
Nice.
So he just scoops one up and starts immediately flying back up to find Jeremiah.
Amazing. So you two go down into the hall and start grabbing all these different things and start racing back up to the main deck. Jeremiah and Halbert, you finish using mending. You tighten up the main sail as much as possible. You are fairly confident between the pair of you that you fix any minor cracks and shifts within the wood. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to stay on your feet at this point, for even though Haystack is professionally guiding the ship through this wind stream, it is becoming difficult, and the turbulence is starting to, like, shift you from side to side. The captain, as you kind of turn and look up, is very much like wide-eyed, white-knuckle riding this ship. Like, and it does not...
Hey, can you keep us steady down there? It's getting difficult.
I am trying. This is a lot harder than it seems.
For all of us, like, posturing and, like, messing around with Jeremiah, Casey still, like, recognizes that you are, like, the best person to do this. So, like, I think he picks you up again, but this time he just, like, holds you, and, like, Hazy's behind you, like, rocking back and forward, but just, like, holding you in place like a gyroscope.
Amazing. As you all gather again on the deck of the ship, Illy and Grim, with this rope in hand, Rebus, you are making your way back up towards the helm to help the captain. Hazy and Jeremiah stood very much towards the center mast of this ship. You all hear a from within this darkened storm cloud ahead. The unmistakable sound of cannon fire. Of course, you all hear it before a moment or two passes before this cannon, this huge cannonball flies, narrowly missing the ship.
Well, you think it's about time we went down?
I agree.
Hazy's very much like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like, just straight down, grabbing 2 bottles of rum.
Take the ship down.
No, it's bad luck to run from a fight.
I just look at you, like, Hazy just, like, looks at you like, no, it's a good way to survive. Oh, you've got me doing the pirate accent now. It's really Scottish.
What do I do? What do we do?
Do you have weapons?
Of course, yes.
Where are they? I'll go man them.
You kind of see these 2 very old and very rusted cannons that are tied up to either side of the main deck, and 2, one that works, ballistas at the very front of this ship. I don't know where the gunpowder is, but the guns, the cannons are there.
That's all right. I keep some in my bag at all times.
Okay. What do we do? Do we go down? Do we carry on? Do we turn back?
No, I think Hazy's right. We should go down, but someone needs to man the weapons just in case.
Okay.
And I can do that.
Okay, Jeremiah just kind of...
As Jeremiah
is so
is
keen to be
running...
manning a weapon. Like.
As Jeremiah is running past, Grim just very quickly, like, one-handed flings the rope around his waist and ties a quick sailor's knot, and then, like, lashes it to the side of the railing where the cannon is. You're not going anywhere now, so good luck.
I didn't think of that. Thank you.
Hey. What's everyone else doing?
So are the cannons, like, when we talk about this being an airship, is this just like a regular ship but airborne? Like, are the cannons on the deck? So can I just, like, stand sort of in the middle so that I can get to the first person who gets injured the quickest?
You very much can, yeah. So it is very much a galleon, but it's in the air, essentially.
Cool.
Very much so.
Grim, leave mine with plenty of slack.
He just hands you the rope.
Sure.
I'll do it with fucking self then. And he starts tying the rope around himself.
Tie yourself up.
Amazing. So you start, Hazy,
You're a dwarf, you can fucking do it yourself.
Fuck, sure, I'll manage right well. Yeah, I wrap it around myself and then I like measure it out so I can tie it to like the central mast, but still, if I go over, I'm going to be dangling under the ship, but I have enough slack that I could reach anyone on the deck.
Yeah, amazing. No problem at all. You start tying yourself off. Haystack, what are you going to be doing?
So, given that we've been trying to incline since we hit the storm, are we still on the same level with it? Does it feel like where we are is equal to the cannon fire, or
very much so? So the cannonball kind of flew past the ship, almost very much level with the ship as it flew past.
So for everyone watching Haystack, if you've ever seen someone on one of those like whirly tilt rides where they're just sort of like stood, his legs are moving with the ship, but the top half isn't, and he's just kind of like moving himself around, keeping balance as it goes. You hear tiny little shutters just close on the hive as something inside, close the little things, and I am going to climb, I don't know what the rope ladder would be called that goes up to the crow's nest, but I'm going to basically scoot my way on up there as quick as possible to get to the crow's nest and start peering out into the storm to see if I can start catching glimpses of ship.
Amazing. So the reason your body obviously moves in this way is nothing to do with the copious amounts of muscle relaxants that we all assume Haystack has consumed whilst been aboard. But it's eerie to fucking look at. But you start climbing up the rope ladder up towards the crow's nest. Illy, what are you going to be doing at this point?
Finishing tying people off and then heading for one of the guns, ready to man it.
Excellent. Rebus.
Rebus stands next to the captain, who's obviously struggling with this wheel, and he essentially he grabs the wheel just to kind of brace it with her.
Yep.
And so they're both using the wheel, and he starts to use ropes as well to if it's going a particularly fast spin or something like that, then you can kind of lock it off with these ropes to stop it from going too far and then breaking. So yes.
Amazing. And as you kind of like place a hand on the steering wheel of this ship, and you kind of like the captain just kind of like looks over to you, and you can see like their eyes are wide, and there is this sheer look of fear and panic in their eyes as they just kind of mouth to you, "Thank you." And as you grip it, she starts to like push the wheel to kind of like send the ship in a more downward trajectory. Haystack, as you are stood in the crow's nest and you feel the ship start to tip forward and head down.
Oh.
You very much see the storm itself on the horizon start to alter its own trajectory to come to meet the ship, the Gicestus ship that you guys are all on, as it starts heading down. As you all hear another audible and the second cannonball just clips very, very much just clips and grazes the side of the ship as you all get jostled to one side. You are around 100 feet away from entering the storm. Is there anything anybody wants to do before you all just hold your breath and hope for the best?
So as Grim has just finished tying people off that need to be tied off and such, for note, Rebus and Hazy, both of you had to tie yourselves off because you're dwarves and you can fucking do it for yourselves. But Grim will go will move to Ely first, and then Jeremiah second, and hand each of them one of his patent-pending Goblin Gobblers, which is a small, bite-sized, chewy treat made with nuts, dried fruits, and a hint of molasses, all rolled in crystallized sugar. It is amazingly delicious and quite nutritious, and if you eat it, you get 3 temporary hit points right now.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Because Grim is an amazing cook.
Love that. Ship.
So Hazy takes a big old draw from the pipe, swig from the rum, and just squares himself.
Just like... Okay.
I just nod at Grim, scram down the bite, and then just start like handing Ely this gunpowder and like trying to work out how the ballista works.
Amazing. So Jeremiah and Illy, I assume you guys are like loading the 2 cannons with gunpowder, fabric, and then the cannonball.
Powder, wadding ball, yeah.
Yeah, just poof, and now you're ready, just like aiming this thing and very much just winching it to a particular direction and hoping for the best.
Yeah, basically just waiting to see who's shooting at us.
Nice. Yeah. Amazing. The ship.
For what it's worth, also Grim is not tied down.
Good to know. I shall write that down.
I would have said nothing.
I would have said nothing as well, but that's a very good piece of information to know. Grim is the first to fall. Nice. Amazing.
Are we ready, Featherfall?
Nah, I don't need Featherfall.
You'll be falling for some time. Like, possibly a week.
I'm a dwarf. It's Stonefall. We don't fall like feathers. We fall like stones. So.
The ship enters the storm. Crack of lightning and thunder. Echoes and thunderous noise all around. All of you have diminished vision as you cannot see anything, as the whole ship is very much encapsulated by this... Sorry, encapsulated, same thing, fuck it, roll with it. By these stormy clouds. You all ready yourselves as this looming shadow off to the right-hand side of the ship as a crack of lightning illuminates the sky. You see another vessel off in the distance, around 200 yards away, before 3 more flashes as you all brace yourselves before 2 cannonballs.
I'd like you to cast Deflect Cannonball.
Yep, sure. What level?
1.
1. Oh, unfortunately,
never seen that spell used before.
As 2 cannonballs just hit the side of the ship. I'd like all of you to make me dexterity saving throws, please. Oh, I shall also roll for the captain.
To learn I'm not very good at these.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Oh. So that was a 17 on the die, -1, 16.
16 for you, Hazy. Jeremiah?
I just rolled a nat 1, so I used my inspiration and I rolled a nat 20.
Nice!
Nice.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Love that. Rebus?
13.
13, thank you. Illy?
17.
17. Haystack?
23.
23. Grim?
11.
11. For the most part, you guys are bracing for this impact, and Haystack, Illy, Rebus, Hazy, Jeremiah, you manage to keep your balance. Grim, you do not, however, and you just hit the deck and just slide off towards the left and just crash into the banister, the railing as such that kind of runs around the edge of the ship as you hit the back, and you are currently sat on your behind, prone. Rebus, it's a good job that you are holding onto this wheel, because as this second cannonball hits towards the back of the ship, the captain, just with the inertia of this impact, just woof, gets flown off to the left and just crashes onto the ground and slides off to the left. What do you want to do, Rebus? You have the helm. I will allow you to dictate what happens to the ship next.
Okay, so what is actually happening to the ship at the moment? Is it kind of going completely off course?
No, so you've managed to hold on to it. So it is currently keeping its downward trajectory. Okay, it has jolted off to the left slightly, but you've held a good grip onto the steering wheel and managed to keep it on track. You kind of like look out to the right, and it very much seems that the ship that has just fired upon you is gaining momentum in your general direction.
Okay.
Oh. That shouldn't have happened. There we go.
Rebus will look out over to the ship. And he'll just shout, "It's a good day today!" and maintain course straight into basically the direction that they're heading, but also trying to essentially use everything that he can to speed up. So even if that means kind of dipping slightly more, just essentially using his knowledge of this ship to get some more speed.
Okay, so very much just like cutting engines mid-flight to just drop and use the weight, the weight of the actual ship to get with the gravity to gain some momentum.
Yeah.
Very good. As you do so, you all hear, "Arr, me mateys! Pull over the vessel or prepare to be boarded." I have not practiced that voice, and I'm extremely impressed with myself. I will say that came from nowhere.
Very good. Grim just looks up and says, "Dad."
Papa, can you hear me? Prepare to be boarded. Does anybody want to do anything at this point? Illy, you are on the right side of the ship, with Jeremiah also on the right side, very much just kind of like spinning the cannon to the opposite side from where you were stood. Jeremiah, you're like, "I'm about to shoot this motherfucker across the bow of this fucking of our own ship."
Yes, I am.
So, do you two want to open fire?
We can see the ship now, yeah?
You can very much just see the silhouette and the outline of the ship, and it is getting larger and larger across this stormscape that you are within as it starts to gain distance upon you.
As this ship gets closer, in the crow's nest, Haystack's going to pull out from seemingly a sleeve just a longbow, and one of the little hatches where the bees usually come out opens up, and an arrow just sort of slides out, and he sort of knocks it out and knocks it, and there's a very small flame on the tip of it. When this thing gets to what I can hopefully gauge by distance to be about 90 feet, I'm going to launch a fairy fire arrow at just the broadside of this ship to try and light it up, so we have at least 20 foot of just illuminated flame on the side of this thing, so we can start making educated guesses of where to fire.
Excellent. Okay, so Jeremiah and Illy, are you waiting for this to happen first, or are you just fuck it? Boom.
I was going to yell to the captain, like, "Captain, permission to fire?"
You hear this like very like weak voice go, "Permission granted."
Before the granted comes out, Jeremiah's just shooting.
Nice. Boom. Excellent. I would like you to roll me a ranged attack, please.
I do have proficiency with firearms, if that's helpful.
You do, to add your proficiency to it. Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, that's a really great roll of a 4, so a 7 total, I guess. Oh, plus Dex would be a 9.
9. Okay. You very much just like almost in one swift motion, to spin this cannon round on its axis and just boof, let this thing fucking rip. And
right over Hazy's head.
Literally over Hazy's head, past Illy.
I will remind you, stood in the middle of the deck.
Yeah. And you, as you kind of like look back towards Jeremiah, you see Jeremiah's feet and body lift off the ground at the sheer force of this thing holding onto the cannon before they land. Unfortunately, that is not enough. However, you see the ball just woof, fly past Hazy's head, past Illy, and just narrowly missing the side of this ship. Illy, do you open fire?
I assume my waiting for the permission would have meant that the fairy fire had happened.
Sure, absolutely.
As the first one goes, you just hear from the crow's nest, guys, just give me a second, come on. And yeah, I will at second level. I will launch the fairy fire arrow towards the broadside of the ship.
Excellent.
Just to illuminate 20-foot square of it in sort of this golden light.
No problem. Go ahead and roll me to hit.
I'm incapable of taking a single strategic decision.
Wait for the fair. Doesn't matter.
Okay, that's a 19 to hit.
A 19. You very much just kind of judging and looking. It almost as if you're not even looking at the ship. You're very much just looking at the trajectory of where you need to fire the arrow, and you aim it almost like 20 or so yards off the bow of the ship to just arch this thing round using the wind, and it just clatters into the side of the ship, illuminating this 20-foot radius of space on the side of the ship, giving you advantage to hit that spot if you are going to aim for it.
I am, but neither of those rolls were very good.
Okay.
So it's a grand total of 11.
11.
Better than 9.
It's a big ship. You just needed to be a 10 as you boom, and it just crashes into the side. I'd like you to roll me 4d8, please, of damage.
Okey-dokey.
So while you're rolling those dice, Grim, Haystack, Illy, and Jeremiah have inspiration. Jeremiah, you've used yours, but Grim, you have inspiration again. Haystack, you have inspiration, and Illy, you also have inspiration as well. Courtesy of our friends on the other side of the screen, watching from home.
We got friends on the other side.
That's my line.
I apparently picked the wrong dice tonight. That's only 12 points of damage.
12 points is better than 11 points. You see this cannonball fly through the air as it crashes into the side of this ship, and you all hear the same booming voice go, "Well then, it looks like it's a fight to the death then. Prepare yourselves." As you hear and this whistle on the wind as you all look over to the right and see 4 harpoons that are tied with rope go, and all 4 latch onto and impale the side of the ship as this ship becomes closer and closer until it is around 20 feet, and you all look across, and this ship is a very darkened oak, almost looks charred in places, very dark wood. The mast itself, a similar shade of brown. The sails on this ship are very tattered and red, and like this very deep red color. You see that as you are within 20 feet of the side of this ship, they start launching these harpoon ropes to try and tie to the mast to swing over, and you see 5 individuals start to swing their way across to the ship. And that is where we're going to just take a very quick break. We are going to be back in around, let's call it 10-15 minutes. If we're not back by 1:45, then by all means you can send us a message on Discord, you can write a letter to your local MP, do what you need to do to get your voice
You
heard.
think that's going to do anything?
No, that's why I'm suggesting it. We're going to be back in around 10 minutes, so please don't go anywhere. Go get yourselves a drink, get yourselves refreshed, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Cool. Bye.
Bye.
Hello!
Oh, dear.
We are back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We hope that you've had a wonderful break and you've managed to get yourself a drink and all refreshed and all that fun stuff. So let's kick in. And I do that thing every single time we come off a break and have to look twice at my stream deck to make sure that I have unmuted myself, because I've come a crop with that many times where I've started the stream and just gone and nothing happens. But we are back. So we rejoin our party as these huge ballista-fired harpoons sink into the side of the ship, and these 5 swashbuckling miscreants swing onto the deck of the airship Gazestus. I'd like everybody to roll me initiative, please.
Ooh. And as it is initiative time and we are rolling with brand new people, I would just like to say that this combat is sponsored by Tom Kartos Battlemaps. If you like the backdrop to what may be potentially this first-time party's destruction, go to his website. There are many different places, from deserts to forests, all kinds of stuff, and all of your favorite monsters and tokens in beautiful little minis. That's Tom Kartos Maps, and it's something else on socials, but we have it in places. Go there and buy things. I'm going to roll initiative now.
That was so good, Dan. I will say, even though you bumbled through, that was the smoothest I think you've ever done that announcement. That was incredible.
It's getting
there's link somewhere. Go buy stuff. Amazing, amazing call to action. So, initiative tracker. There we are. So I will come to you one by one, and you can tell me what you rolled initiative. So, Haystack.
18.
18. Thank you, Grim.
13, sorry.
13. Thank you very much.
I'm looking at t-shirts on Actual Play UK store.
No, modified rules store. We don't have one for Actual Play UK yet.
Illy, what did you roll?
19.
19. Thank you very much. Jeremiah.
11.
Thank you. Hazy.
A beautiful 9.
9. Love that. Rebus.
13.
13. Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, after Dan made this wonderful announcement of our beautiful battle maps, let's show you one of the beautiful battle maps from Tom Kartos.
Ooh.
Ooh, indeed. So, let me just move some people around. So, we have Jeremiah, you'll be over here. I will say, Lily, you're over here. Oh, sorry, Illy will be over here. You shall be up in the crow's nest. Rebus, you are over here at the helm. The captain is over here somewhere. Grim, where are you going to be stood? I will allow. Can you all move your tokens, by the way?
I can, yep.
Yep.
Excellent. Shall we begin? Very well.
Sure.
So, as these 5 individuals...
If we all say no, do we just go home? As I go
Yeah,
home,
we'll just end it
Yeah.
here. Yeah, we'll just end it here. No problem.
See you next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, you in next Tuesday for the main campaign? Ah, spoilers.
I have a question. Do you have Benny's token? Because Benny moves independently of me.
I do not, but I can give you a token to use for Benny.
I sent you Benny's token.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up laughing, guys. This is... You're all laughing because you're like, oh, this is new and fun. Everyone else at home that watches it regularly goes, oh, here he is.
I'm laughing because this is the DM's nightmare. I was like, did you get my mini for my familiars? Like, no, I fucking didn't.
There it is.
Because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Of course I didn't. This is fine. I've got used to being able to, like, do things at breakneck speed.
Oh, every time I was like, have you got a mini for my family? Like, no, but here's a spider I used in last session.
Yeah.
You have that.
here's a cow. That can be your Drake. Just let's move on.
Be more generous to me. I'm usually just like, I'm drawing a circle. There it is.
Dynamic Dan, ready for anything. Oh, I should get that on a t-shirt. Talking of merch.
There you go.
Amazing. Classic Dan. You can tell that these are my players, can't you? Giving me shit in the comments. Thank you.
I'm sorry. If there's been any comments so far that should be on t-shirt, it's I don't control the bees. I just keep them.
Yeah, that's such a good one. That's so good. So, top of initiative, this individual who has got this rather long, matted, dark brown beard with no hair on top, but this beautiful handlebar mustache that kind of curls up their cheeks. You see that they're wearing, I will zoom in for everyone at home. They are wearing an eye patch, but not a traditional eye patch, for this is a glass eye patch, almost like a monocle, but very steampunky. Jeremiah, you would be very intrigued by these goggles, or half goggles, that is fashioned into a monocle type deal. But he will board the ship and look directly towards you, Hayes, and go,
Time to meet thy maker.
And
I know my maker. And trust me, it's not my time yet.
He will rush forward 5-10 feet to get within 5 feet of you, drawing a longsword from their hilt, and will attempt to slash towards you.
Haha, he can try.
Okay.
Killing the silence.
Yep.
Killing the silence.
Nice, love that. That is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
It does. Fuck.
Oh, Steward. Oh, Miko, you've gone quite small on here. I'm going to make you larger, my friend. There we are.
Oh, no, don't adjust that. That's me. I can fix that.
Oh, I will make you smaller again. There we go. We're good. There we are. Okay, so this longsword just woof down across your front for 1d10, which of course I don't have prepared. That is going to be 8 points of slashing damage as it one-handed across. And with their second attack, they almost spin the blade round and try to jab at you with the pointy end with their second attack.
Stick it with the pointy end.
That is going to be a 12 to hit.
That one doesn't.
As you see the tip of this blade come towards you, you almost just kind of like move with the motion of the ship to just sidestep narrowly, avoiding this piercing blow. That will end their turn. Next in initiative order is bad guy number 5, because that's what we do in D&D. When you're a DM, you have to number them because they all have the same fucking stat block.
You mean
This
they
isn't
don't
a
have
number.
individual names and backstories?
Yeah, I want a name. I don't know how many children
Well,
he
in
has.
fact, this individual is called... so you can see by the general makeup of this individual, they very much give you the impression that this is a deckhand, one of the low-ranking members of the crew, namely Private Parts, who steps aboard the airship. You see that they have this very short, matted black mess of hair on top, where he's wearing almost leather, full leather armor, but with kind of like piecemeal bits of metal armaments across, as they pull the short sword out. The short sword, I always do that. Short sword every fucking time.
Short sword.
And she pulls the short sword from his belt. You kind of look and you see Grim
Hot shingles in your area.
as he begins to start moving towards you. You can see that he's very much like green behind the gills. This is probably one of the first battles as such he's ever been in, as he kind of stumbles towards you round this mast to get within 5 feet of you, and with his Schwarzschword is going to try and attempt to strike at you. That is a 16 on the die for a 21 to hit.
That hits.
For a 9 points of slashing damage with the first attack, and then violently he's going to try and just throw the blade back up in your direction, but almost haphazardly. So I'm going to roll this with disadvantage because he's not seasoned in this at all. And that'll probably do it with a natural 2 for a 7, as he just goes, and just flings the blade back up in your direction and just whiffs completely.
Because I am a benevolent game master myself, I will remind you, Sir Game Master, I was prone.
Oh.
So he would have advantage on these attacks.
Because he's whiffing with the second one, I will take the second roll, which was a natural 4 anyway, so it's good. You golden
Fair
brother.
enough.
You're all good. Which kind of speaks true to Private Parts and his lack of swordsmanship, which doesn't really make sense. Think about it. Right, next in initiative order. Let's get it, Private Parts, not good with sword. Anyway.
Yeah.
Veteran
We got
3.
Thank you, Brabsy, by the way, for the Private Parts name point spend.
He's literally just commented and went, "What have you done to my boy?" The next individual is this beautiful, beautiful, red, long flowing head with this beautiful, like, goatee and mutton chops, with braids of red hair down, wearing this, this very long kind of hunter's coat. He boards the vessel right next to you, Illy, and almost swings and lands on top of the cannon that you've just fired, and just draws their longsword and goes, "Ah, blast, matey!" And will just swipe down towards you with the... All of these are going to sound the same. If I've done this voice well, they're all going to have the same fucking voice.
Yep. The men, the women, the children.
Yep. This 12-year-old, "Ah, matey!" Right. With the first attack, that's going to be a 15 to hit.
Oh, just hits.
Just hits with the longsword. It is only one-handed, so it's 1d8, which is 5 on the die for 8 points of slashing damage with the first attack. And then with the second attack, it's going to pull the heavy crossbow off their back and point it up towards you in the crow's nest haystack.
Okay.
And fire the preloaded heavy crossbow up towards you.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
That definitely hits.
A 1d10 plus 1. So that is going to be a whopping 4 points of piercing damage as this arrow just through the air and just clatters into your shoulder. The same shoulder that has the strap to the beehive, and this vexes you ever so, Haystack. Don't fuck with the bees, man.
Nope. Oh, he's messed with the wrong beekeeper.
So, however, they will not stay where they are. They will jump off the cannon that you're currently manning, giving you the opportunity attack if you want it, Illy.
Oh, yes. I only have my regular dagger on me. I don't think an 11's going to hit him, though.
An 11 doesn't. He almost, jumps off very quickly as you just scramble to try and strike with the dagger, unfortunately missing. But the individual begins to race up the stairs, fired to here, almost racing towards the helm where you are, Rebus. Illy, it is your go. Top of the initiative order with a massive 19.
Yeah, I don't really want Revis getting trouble on his own. But no, I like my food too much. I'm going to. It's like, who can I actually do damage to? I am going to call up one of my psychic blades and lob it at number 5.
Okay, so the individual that's just attacked Grim.
Yep.
You spin this ethereal-esque blade into your hand and just launch it across the ship in the direction
of... Does a 15 hit?
Ooh, unfortunately not, as it clatters off the shoulder of this individual. Oh yeah, you thought this was going to be easy, huh? No!
You described this guy as Private Parts. I thought he was going to go down like a sack of shit.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was Private Parts over there.
Yeah.
Bonus action, second blade.
Nice.
25 to hit.
A 25 will definitely hit. To describe how this works then, with it being your second blade, are you almost controlling the same blade back?
They're psychic. It's psychic blades. As soon as it hits, it just materializes, hits or misses and dissipates.
Nice. So you just form another in your hand and just woof, launch the next. A 25 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage, please.
And that gets my sneak attack on it as well.
Exciting.
So, check that. Yep. That is just double checking. 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Very good. Thank you very much. As you launch the second of your psychic blades across, you see this one. You've almost like pinpointed the kink in the armor on the shoulders and just launched the second blade, and it just like pierces into the shoulder blade of this Private Parks as you see him just reel back in pain. Anything else on your turn? You still have a bonus action?
I've used a bonus action.
Bonus action.
I'm gonna stay put because I can see quite a bit of what's going on, so I'm gonna stay put there.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
I think as Illy spins around to face the middle of the ship, he looks like, "Don't you worry, lads. I've got." Oh, you're hitting it. Never mind. It's fine.
You told me not to worry.
Amazing. Next in initiative order, Haystack.
Cool. We've got a beautiful pirate kill. So, as the heavy crossbow bolt sort of grazes one shoulder, it doesn't seem to phase his face, so he's like, "Oh, that's not nice. All right, looks like someone's dying today."
Nice.
I mean, he might be mellow, but doesn't mean he's not bloodthirsty. So I'm going to stay where he's in the crow's nest. If that is the box, he's just going to move to there for the second, just to get a good view of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
From the beehive, this small little arcane bee in sort of like pastel yellow just sort of creeps out onto his shoulder and flies down and just bursts in a little hexagonal shape on his back, and I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on this guy as a bonus action.
Excellent. Which one are you aiming for? The one that's just heading up towards... The one that hit you with the arrow, I assume. So the one that's heading towards the helm. Excellent. So Hunter's Mark.
The one that shot me. And
excellent. There we are.
I'm going to make 2 big arrows at this guy, and with both of them I'm going to take my sharpshooter -5.
Okay, no problem. So go ahead and roll to hit as you reel back 2 arrows and fire them towards this individual.
So again, as he knocks an arrow, it comes out of the hive, and you just see more of the little ethereal bees just sitting around the head of the arrowhead as he lets the first one loose. Okay. So that's even with a -5, so that's 19 to hit on the first one.
19 will definitely hit as you, and almost at this vantage point, just pierce straight into between the shoulder and the neck of this individual right there.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll me some damage on the first attack, please.
Okay, so that's going to be... so that's 8 plus the 10 for sharpshooter, so that's 18 plus 1d6 for Hunter's Mark, which is a 4, plus another 1d6 for my Swarmkeeper ability that allows me to do 1d6 of piercing damage whenever I land an attack. So I'm going to go on one of those, which is another 4, so...
26 total, yeah?
26 total, as little ethereal bees start stinging all around the parts where he just got hit.
Oh, that's just awoken a very horrible, fear from nowhere at all. That sounds fucking awful. Oh, God. I'll be thinking about that for days. Oh, no. And with your second attack, go ahead and roll to hit. Minus your 5 for your sharpshooter.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, bees just buzzing around a fresh...
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you get the wrong idea about Haystack. 22 to hit, sorry.
22 will hit, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Yep.
Kill him! Kill him with bees!
So that is...
Sting him to death!
So that's 9 plus the 10, so 19, plus another for the Hunter's Mark, which is 6, so that's another 25 points of damage.
Another 25 points of damage. Holy! You almost, knocking 2 arrows at once, just poof, poof, and both hit the exact same mark. within a split second of each other, like, thoof, thoof, and you just see this guy drop down to one knee and just clutching at this wound. It's like, because he's not going to like wince in pain in any other accent.
As he says "R" up to him, you just see Hicks goes "R."
Any bonus actions or movement from yourself?
So because
so bonus action was Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
2 attacks. Any movement.
So it's just movement now.
Yeah.
How high up am I?
Oh, I'd say a good 35, 40 feet, brother. You're on the main mast.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm going to stay where I am for the moment.
Okay, very good. Okay, next in initiative order is this beautiful, I love this like token as well, this beautiful red-haired lady, this mat of red hair, and again, common theme with the goggles that I'm really loving this, has these beautiful like ornate like gold trimmed goggles just affixed to the top of their head as they...
I want them.
I thought you might.
Double goggles.
You see them just pull this rapier from their sheath on their waist and will, in fact, start racing towards the helm as well. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to get within 5 feet of you, Rebus, and is going to try and attack you with their rapier. The first strike is going to be a natural 2 for a 5. God damn it! So, as they miss wildly, as you step to try and keep the ship on course, the second strike, oh my god, is a natural 1, and you spin the wheel ever so slightly as they go to strike, knocking their rapier up, causing them to miss wildly with their second strike. However, you do have 2 enemies bearing down upon you as we speak, Rebus. It's nothing, brother. We got this. Towards the front of the ship, the last individual that boarded, this dark-skinned, dark-haired lady, who almost looks like they're not wearing any armor at all. Very, like, silken purple robes that they're wearing. Kind of lands at the bow of the ship and just kind of, like, with a huge ear-to-ear grin on their face, looks towards you, Grim, and goes... Well, this is going to turn out to be a lovely afternoon. You there, don't move. As she casts Hold Person, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
The minute you said she wasn't wearing armor, I was like, I've played too many games to know this is the bad one. We need to get that one.
So I rolled a 2. I'm going to use my boon from chat that I had gotten earlier.
Your inspiration, yeah?
Yeah. And that made it a 19 total.
A 19. You feel your muscles and the sinews and fibers in your muscles just tense for a split second before you break free of the hold of this spell. It does not take effect. As she kind of like points and goes, interesting.
You need to add a little spice to your magic there, lassie, if you want me.
Very well. As she then runs 5, 10 feet and just launches herself up onto the banister and just kind of like goes, shall we dance? And that will end their turn. However, it is you next in initiative order, Grim. Rebus, you are on deck.
Excellent. First things first, Benny does not like it when people stab me with bladed weapons. So Benny is going to, because he is a very nice and friendly familiar to myself, and thanks to some special perks that I have, he's actually going to attack Private Parts.
Not Private Parts! Absolutely, go ahead. And could you describe this attack for me?
Yes, so Benny, the chunky little monstrosity that he is, just kind of leaps up onto my shoulder and open mouth hisses at Private Parts, and then just like flies at him, spinning like a ball as he flies at Private Parts' face.
I love that. Go ahead and roll me to hit, please. Private Parts face.
So
lovely.
I'm just using this as a club attack on my character sheet because it's the same stat modifier.
Yep, no problem.
So that is a natural 20.
Natural 20!
Yeah.
Chunky crits.
Amazing.
Indeed.
So, for those at home who may be new here, we do things a little bit differently when it comes to critical hits. So whenever a player, a familiar, or an NPC friendly to the party rolls a natural 20 in combat, they roll an additional d20 after the damage has been done to roll on a critical hit table, which will either do additional damage or cause some really fucking cool effects. So yeah, roll some damage, please.
And this is just double the dice damage, right?
Exactly that. So roll your dice, double the amount on the dice, and then add whatever modifiers afterwards.
Okay. So it is only 5 points of piercing damage from its tail. However, Private Parts also has to make a Constitution saving throw versus poison.
Lovely. So what was the
because he's a pseudo dragon.
Hey, what was the total damage?
5.
5 total, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, and then a con save.
Yes, sir.
That is a natural 6 for an 8, so I don't think that quite works.
Damn, I was hoping it was a total of 6. Let's see. He is poisoned for 1 hour.
Okay, so
which means he has basically disadvantage on everything.
Yeah, disadvantage on attack rolls and I believe ability checks as well and saving throws. So just disadvantage on all rolls essentially. Excellent. So
it's not saving throws. It's just ability checks and attack rolls.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
If
so
he had failed by 5, he would have actually fallen unconscious for an hour.
Oh, very close.
So I have to roll a d20 for the chunky crit.
Exactly that. So another d20, please.
Alrighty. Come on, dice. Oh, there it goes. 19.
Oh! Oh!
Is that miracle here?
Miracle strike. The foe
really?
the foe must make a DC 20 con save or fall unconscious. Unbelievable.
Glorious.
Gonna knock the piss right out of Private Parts.
You have, like, literally, you see Benny just spin and crunch into the face of Private Parks, and you go, oh, that was a pretty good hit. You just see the light fade from Private Park's eyes as he just kind of and just falls back and just hits the ground as
Benny like is latched onto Private Parts' face and just kind of rides him down, and it just has his pincer tail like poked straight into Private Parts' neck, and he's just looking around like chunky little monstrosity sitting on top of Private Parts' face.
So good. Love
Are we the
that.
bad guys?
No, Benny's amazing. Benny is the better part of this duo. Are you kidding me?
It's that about to change the rating of this stream.
I know.
I was going to say, I've heard that
riding
saying
Private
before.
Parts down. Ooh.
Oh. Anyway.
Sorry, Brabsy. So now it's my turn.
It is.
I'm not sure how I'm gonna
Paul went out for
better than
Private Parts.
So
You burned quick, but you burned brightly.
yes, indeed. So you said that this woman is standing on the railing above me, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. So she's roughly around 10 feet above you, and then another, again,
okay, perfect.
her height. Right. So not too far, really.
All right. Benny and Grim are fairly used to being fighting alongside one another. So Benny will stand up. He doesn't have very much movement left, so he kind of does this almost like cartwheel dive forward as he leaps across the unconscious Private Parts. He scoops up Benny in one arm, and he turns to face the woman up on the railing, and I'm going to launch a guiding bolt at her.
Excellent. Very good. Go ahead and roll me to hit, please.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage as you unleash this arcane energy bolt across to crash into this individual.
So that is 15 total points of damage.
15. Excellent. Thank you very much.
It is radiant damage too. I'm not sure that matters. But...
Okay, no problem. Good to know. Because she's stood on this railing and you've crashed into her with a guiding bolt, I'm actually going to roll a dexterity saving throw to see if she can hold balance on this kind of very small perch that she's found. And she will not. As you hit, as she just falls back and hits the deck, she will be knocked prone. So the next attack against this individual will be made with advantage, but if she gets up in the meantime, it will still be an advantage, but she's not
guiding
prone.
bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Guiding bolt will give advantage from
exactly that.
Yep,
exactly that. Anything else on your turn, Grim? Any movement?
No, I did my movement. I had to use half my movement to stand up because I was prone. That left me with 10 feet. So that was the whole moving across private parts. And Benny is standing with me here, or flying with me, kind of perched on my arm and shoulder, just kind of looking around at everyone, waiting for the next person to stab in the face.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, Rebus, you are up. Jeremiah, you are on deck.
Okay, so Rebus is holding on to this wheel. He deftly kind of lets go of it whilst leaving a rope just to kind of tie it off. As he reaches for both of his flails.
Excellent.
Any of these going to be bonus actions or actions, by the way? Or is it just flavor?
Oh, the tie-in of the ship?
Tying, reaching...
Well, let's just go with it. Go with it.
All right. Oh, well. Never mind.
Yeah. You get your full action, bonus action, and movement.
Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so this woman with the red hair, to be right, he starts... he hears in the distance Benny just kind of going mad, and he's like, "Oh, that's an ill omen!" and smacks her in the face with one of the flails.
Nice. Go ahead and roll to hit. There she goes. Not any ill omen that I've ever heard.
I mean, it's 24, so
Well, fucking definitely hit. And she goes, "Ever heard?" Poof. Just gets clattered around the cranium.
Jeez. Oh my god. Okay, so that's 12 points of damage.
Ooh.
Second
Very good.
hit. That's 14.
14 will not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. And because he has 2-weapon fighting, he's actually hitting again.
For your bonus action?
Yeah.
Nice. Go ahead and roll to hit with your third attack.
Natural 18. Yeah.
Nice. Will definitely hit. So you immediately just go poof, whiff, and then just crack with the third attack.
Another 8. So that is, again, 12.
Another 12 points of damage. Very good. As you hit this individual twice around the head. And the flail that you've got, I assume that it's spiked, right? This is going to do
easily.
This is going to do some lasting damage.
Yeah. She's going to have to get some reconstructive surgery at some point.
Yeah, I would imagine so. She boarded this ship with the best intentions of destroying you guys and now has to see a doctor for the next 12 months just to reconfigure one cheekbone because your flail has embedded into her face. I like that. Very good.
And that's exactly what she deserves.
Yeah. Fuck this bitch. Any movements from you, Rebus?
No, Rebus will not move.
No?
No.
Hey, very good. Okay, next in initiative order, Jeremiah, and then Hazy, you are up after that. So, Jeremiah, what would you like to
Jeremiah
do?
pulls out a gun.
Oh, yes! I love this!
And is just gonna level it in front of them. Well, if Hazy looks behind him, it'll look a little bit like he's like aiming at Hazy, but he's actually aiming past Hazy to the guy in front. Closes one eye and just calls out to him, "I got you, big guy!" And is gonna pull the trigger.
The second he pulls his gun, I duck.
Nothing apparently happens because this guy's wearing metal armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heat metal. This is my spellcasting focus, so I get a bonus.
So the gun doesn't even go off; it just casts heat metal.
Yeah, it's like an invisible heat ray, like War of the Worlds.
Nice. I love that. Okay.
So,
Oh.
he just takes the
Yeah, there's no save
damage.
because he's
There's no save.
no
Brilliant.
Unless he
fantastic.
wants to spend 10 minutes taking his armor off.
Yeah.
Exactly. And because I'm using my arcane firearm, I get an extra D8 to the damage.
Excellent.
So
And
that's
with
3D8.
3d8, and with this being heat metal, I assume that he will then just start burning. I don't think I have a condition ring for on fire, but I will certainly find one if there is one.
Burning
That
with fire, if
is
you will.
18 points of fire damage.
Oh, amazing.
And I can cast it again if I keep my concentration. Woohoo!
Oh, so you are concentrating, yeah?
Yes. If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Excellent. So good.
It
As
can't
you
drop the object, so...
So, Hazy and Jeremiah, you see that the armor in which this individual is wearing just starts to glow this deep orange into a red, and he just kind of looks and goes, and is just panicking, but can't actually take it off because he's like, oh, metal buttons on everything, man. Like, what? I'm gonna have to speak to my stylist about this. Like, what the fuck? Okay.
Jeremiah's beady eyes on that monocle, like, mine soon. But I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. Any bonus actions from yourself?
It's not really anything I can do, so I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
And leave it at that.
I think Nate Scott Jones has just put it absolutely right. Putting the fire in firearm. Excellent. Love that. Okay, so next in initiative, Hazy.
Hazy, still pipe in mouth the whole time this has been happening, takes a massive draw and breathes out a whole pile of smoke, but as the smoke sort of clears away from his face, the person in front of him sees, when he looks down at Hazy, who's probably fairly, like, a few feet shorter than him, sees the smoke clear and his eyes start to glow, and the white skull sort of face paint glows bright white, almost like lifting off of his face, and he said it was time to meet my maker. Well, he has a message for you. And as I reach out, this like spectral skeleton hand overlaps my own, and I look like I'm about to, like, you know, compassionately put my hand on his shoulder, but I'm casting Vampiric Touch.
Nice.
He says
Avoid
he's
the
holding
fire.
the door for you.
Oh, amazing.
Sorry, I'm not physically touching him, the magic is.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent. So is that a save from me?
no, that's an attack roll.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
Adding my spell attack bonus, which gets a +1 because of the magic item I picked, whose name I forget. That is going to be a cocked die, which is great. Come on. That is going to be a 10 + 8 for 18.
18 will hit as this
Fantastic.
like spectral hand just gets placed on this burning man as you cast Vampiric Touch.
Yeah, the skin where I touch, which is already sort of, I'd imagine, like blistering, and then begins to like necrotize. These lines and cracks form in the skin, and this starts to like break away and almost like turn to dust where my hand touches him. So that's going to be 3d6 necrotic damage, and I get half of this back.
Nice.
So that is 4, 7, 9 damage.
9 total
So I will
points of
get
damage.
4 health back.
No, you always take the higher number.
Oh, you just got fair enough. I
Yeah.
will take
So if you're
then.
damaged, if you're damaged by something, take the lower. If you're gaining hit points back and it's halved, then you take the higher number. Because we're nice. This is a nice
We're
game.
nice that way.
Yeah.
This is a nice game with pirates and evisceration.
Yeah, and
And
exploding
necrotizing
things.
people's skin.
Yeah, killing Private Parks on his maiden voyage into
He
piracy.
deserved it.
He's just
Yeah.
unconscious, to be fair.
For now.
That's true.
Wait till he
He
gets a hold
becomes
of him.
part of our crew.
Yeah.
He's safe from Jeremiah because he's not wearing goggles, so.
Private Parts will rise again, don't worry.
Yeah, so as he begins to necrot, he just whispers in his ear,
Phrasing.
The Baron is waiting for you.
and then he just like shoves him back a little bit. And that's the end of my turn. Vampiric Touch stays active for a minute, so on every turn for the next minute, I can make that attack again and reuse the ability from that.
Without you expending the spell slot. Excellent. Okay. Fantastic.
I have
And
a lot of people to necrotize.
at the top of the round, as you guys are mid-fight with these individuals, the ship that is attached to yours is going to loose 3 cannonballs towards your ship. First one will hit, second one will miss, and the third one will hit. As you hear, as the ship, these 2 cannonballs just rattle into the side of the ship. Rebus, you feel next to you the ship's wheel just kind of like judder and shake as you guys begin to drop in altitude at the hit, and you hear the once kind of hum and harmonious hum from the crystalline engine that is keeping this thing afloat, essentially, just kind of go and start to shudder and stutter as it kind of like starts dropping. Illy, you would probably see from the side of the ship that you are on where the cannonballs have hit, black smoke just start rising from the side of the vessel up.
Oh, my paint job!
Top of the
Racing
right.
stripes. No.
I actually fully wholeheartedly believe that in the 3 days that you've been airborne, Jeremiah will have definitely painted the whole ship. Like, I fully believe that. Okay, so top of the initiative order after the ship has fired holes into your hull. The individual who is currently on fire and being necrotized.
Real bad time.
Oh, it's not going to like this. Do I? Oh, I'm going to probably have to try and spend a turn trying to remove some armaments. They're not going to try and make any attack. They have got this spectral hand on their burning flesh. They're going to spend their entire action just doffing their armor and just ripping bits of burning metallic armaments off, but they will take their full action doing that. So, next in initiative order is... Oh, Private Parts, who's unconscious. Next in
dreaming.
He's just resting. He needs a minute.
So,
Nice little nap.
yeah, go to sleep. Next in initiative is the individual with 2 arrow shafts sticking out of their shoulder. He just rips the 2 out and just looks up towards you. Reload the heavy crossbow and look up towards you because he's variant human and has the crossbow expert feat, so does not take any action to reload the crossbow. Will immediately just look up towards you and fire said heavy crossbow towards you, Haystack.
Go for it.
That's a natural 20.
That's definitely going to hit me.
That is a natural 24. Ooh, that is going to be a D10. That is going to be 21 points as I rolled max, unfortunately, on my... Unfortunately. On the damage die.
Unfortunately, like you care.
Yeah. Oh no. This is fun for me too. 21 points of piercing damage on his first attack. Is then going to smile up towards you and is actually going to drop the heavy crossbow and race towards you, Rebus, with their minimal movement and take their second attack with their longsword, which is still in their offhand.
I like the idea that the ship's still rocking and he drops it to be dramatic, but then watches it just sail off the side of the ship.
Oh no! Literally, just that brief moment of fuck.
Thought he was being cool.
I'm gonna walk over there.
Just everyone stops what they're doing just to watch
Yeah,
this.
it's like. The second attack he will miss, and almost as he goes to strike, instinctively go to strike your less defended side, but just miss wildly and actually get the blade stuck in one of the in between the spokes of the wheel and just fucking and reel back. But he will miss with that attack against you, Rebus. And next in initiative is Illa.
Right. I do not approve of my shipmates getting hit that hard.
Yeah, fuck him up, man. Do it.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's high enough up. I can see that guy. I am going to lob a psychic blade at the back of that dude.
Okay. Excellent. As you
don't think a 14's going to hit, so I'm going to use my inspiration.
Excellent.
Good.
So that will be 18.
18 will hit with the first strike. Woof. This spirit blade just crash into the back of the one that's just attacked this individual with the hunter's mark.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent.
And that gets sneak attack on it.
It does.
So that is 17 points of damage.
Oh, would you like to describe how this attack happens as you kill this individual?
It's just she just comes charging up the stairs, eyes blazing, and the blade that forms in her hand and lances out towards him is just white hot. You can see all the rage and anger just channeled into this blade of light that just shoots across goes right into the center of his back, just buries in, and then as it dissipates, he'll drop. Excellent.
And he will indeed drop. And as the blade penetrates through the back of this individual, as you turn to look at this person tried to strike at you, Rebus, you just see this very faint glow of this blade pierce through the chest before dissipating, and you go and just drops to the ground.
We call illy an ill omen in some places round here.
But that is your first attack. You still have your second attack.
Down the other one.
I do, but I'm going to use my bonus action instead to chuck a healing word up to Haystack.
Excellent. So healing word has a range of 60 feet, so that's absolutely fine. I believe it is 60 feet on healing word, right?
Yeah.
I think
from memory.
So.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not much, but it's better than nothing. So that is 6 points of healing at least.
Ooh, we will take 6.
Excellent. As you
Thank
cast
you.
healing word with your bonus action, do you want to take any further movement?
No, I'm pretty much at the edge of my movement anyway, and I'm again in a good position to see.
Excellent. Okay, Haystack, you are up.
I am indeed. Sort of as the ship rocks and the cannonballs hit, and he sort of lost traction for a second. This bolt straight into the gut, and he just sort of like, oh man, that's not great. All right, he sort of like bites into another and rips it out as the healing word sort of mends a little bit of that. Looking across to the ship that is currently harpooned to us, how far away are they?
So you went the distance to the ship where the harpoons are, and the other individuals on the opposite ship. From where you are, probably around 35 to 40 feet.
Okay.
In fact, probably a bit further than that if you look at. You're quite high up. Probably around 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay, that's cool. How closely are the cannons bunched together?
On their so if you were to look, you'd probably see them around 15 feet apart. There is 3, and they're about 15 feet apart.
Oh, that is not good. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Stop it. Stop it, D&D Beyond. Behave.
D&D Beyond behave?
No.
I know, right?
It will refuse.
Asking for miracles.
Miracles. That's what you're asking for.
Better roll a 19 for that one then.
Hey! You see what you did there?
Nice.
Right, okay. That's not going to work. Bollocks. Okay, fine. No, we're not going to do that then, because that will be... So ripping out the arrow and looking down at Ilya and just sort of giving a very happy thumb. I was like, thanks. 2 more arrows are going to like appear from the thing. I am going to bonus action move my hunter's mark to the one that is trying to still strike at the helmsman.
Yes, I will place a hunter's mark on there, no problem.
Yep. And then, same as before, arrow knocked. You see small little spectral beads around the arrowhead. And again, taking a -5 for sharpshooter, I am going to bury 2 into this other person.
Amazing. Go ahead and roll me to hit, please.
Will do. So, first one is... that's a 15.
15 will not hit, unfortunately.
That's fine. I can take that. Second one. Dive taketh away. That is a natural 20.
Natural 20! Excellent.
For 24. No, 23. There we go.
Very good attack. Go ahead and roll me some damage. Double the die. Add your modifier. Oh, you get to double Hunter's Mark as well now.
Yep. Oh. It's all kinds of damage.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, that's dope. So that is max on the dice. That's 8, double to 16, plus 3. That's 19. So that would be 20, 30, 36? No. 19 doubled.
19 double 38.
38. And then plus another 6 for Hunter's Mark. So that's
okay, so
44.
44 points of damage, and because we've rolled a crit, go ahead and roll me a d20 on the chunky crit just to see if there's any more.
I don't know if it's going to matter, to be honest.
Haystack just shoots straight through. Kills him, his descendants, his ancestors.
Erases him from the timeline.
There's damage for you. There's damage for your cow. 10 on the dice.
Roll again, because this one doesn't matter. Because you get
14.
Okay. So the blow, it says grazes the temple, but I'm going to riff on this. The strike embeds into the enemy's temple. The blood blinds the foe for 1 to 3 rounds. You've done 44 points of damage. You've just fucking pierced through the temple of this individual, and the arrow just sticks out of the other side of their head. And they sort of do that thing that, like, unconsciously, their body is still moving, but there's fucking nobody at home, and they just kind of, like, rear the blade back up to strike again, and just fall flat on their face, and crash into the deck of the ship, and they are very dead.
Wow.
Very
tell me
dead.
a spectral bee comes flying out of their eye socket.
Yeah. Just rolling its sleeves up, like cracking its neck. Like,
like a little cartoon. Yeah, you just see like a little anchor tattoo on one as it comes out.
Amazing. Any movement from you, Haystack?
No, we're going to stay in the crow's nest for the time being.
Okay, so we are back with the individual that is laid prone on their back. They are going to use half their movement to spring up onto their feet, almost into a superhero pose. Stand up very slowly and look towards you, Grim. Go, well, that wasn't very nice, and I thought we would get along very well.
No idea whatever gave you that inkling there, lassie.
So she's going to point towards you again, and I'm going to need you to make me another wisdom saving throw, please.
All right.
Fingers crossed for Graham.
You got this.
Let's see. 14 on the die for a total of 19.
Oh. Hazy, you would probably see from where you are, and Jeremiah, you would probably see this as well. As this individual points towards Grim, they start kind of swirling their hand and their finger, and you see this almost like thorned crown almost appear around Grim's head before dissipating. As she in
You were
fact
going to
did.
make him attack his familiar.
I was gonna, yeah, she did cast Crown of Madness, and you managed
shit.
to. You absolute shitbag. You are right. As you make that save again, she just goes, "You're boring me." As she starts racing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet down the opposite side and just starts racing down that side of the ship. But it is now your go, Grim.
All right. Well, I think it's fair to say that chunky little Benny does not like this woman. Like, we can all agree on that. That's a pretty safe statement.
I would assume so.
Yeah. He is going to furiously kick himself out of Grim's arms and go flying straight at her, and he's going to attack her.
Nice. Go ahead and roll his hit.
Yeah, because she is glowing. He has advantage on this to hit.
She does. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, you do have advantage.
That is a 6 and a natural 19 for a total of 23.
The 23 will absolutely hit.
Yeah.
Because she's a little squishy.
But she's a little squishy. So that is total of 5 points of damage, and she has to make a Constitution saving throw.
5 points of damage and a con save.
Yep.
She's not going to be very good at those.
Come on, knock her out.
It's not a
knock her
super
out.
high DC, but
Yes, that is an 8 for a 6.
6.
That is a 6.
DC's 11, which means she failed by more than 5, which means that she falls unconscious.
Oh, damn.
What?
Seriously. She is poisoned and falls unconscious from the pseudo dragon stinger poison.
You know what we said? Before we kicked off this stream, we were talking about familiars and animal menageries in campaigns. They always come in clutch. Always.
Yeah.
So good, Benny. MVP. Holy
Benny,
shit.
Like I said, Benny is the better portion of this duo. I promise you.
She just like, poof, and she's like mid-run, almost on like the last rung of the stairs down to the main deck, as Benny just clashes in, and the lights just slap out immediately, just click out, and she loses consciousness, hits the ground, and just slides another 5 to 10 feet on her face, just across the deck of the ship. If anyone was to pick her up, it's just like splinters and wood, just like sticking out of like the face. But she is out cold.
Nice.
Oh,
and
good.
so that was my bonus action. Just to check, how injured are Hazy and Jeremiah? You guys are pretty fine, right?
I'm at full.
Oh, I'm missing like 2 health. Because of my vampiric touch, I'm back up.
Great. So I cannot get to Mr. Sunshine up there to help him out. So instead, I'm just gonna do an Eldritch Blast. I'll like walk over to Benny and like scoop him. Oh, he's a good boy. I love you so much. He's good. And just like give him a little chunky treat. And then casually just flick a pair of Eldritch Blasts at the gentleman with the crazy eye patch.
Nice. Okay, go ahead and roll me to hit with these 2 flicks of the Eldritch Blasts.
First one is a 21. Second one's only a 14. So I assume that the second one misses.
Exactly that, yeah. So go ahead and roll me some damage with the first attack as this poor, burning, blistering individual that is having some necrotic goodness seeping into him is now going to get smashed with some force damage as well.
He gets smacked up the backside of the head with 12 points of force damage. Or max damage with my charisma modifier.
He has got to be down. Like,
he's still hanging in though.
Like Elton John said, he is still standing. But not quite as better as he ever was.
He is not going to be wanting. He does not want to be in a couple of seconds.
As this Eldritch Blast smashes into his back as he burns more of his fingertips off. He just kind of like looks, and he's looking around the entire deck of your ship now, realizing that he is the last man standing. Rebus, you are up.
Well,
Is the ship? Is it still attached to the other ship? I'm
That is a
assuming?
very good question. It is by the harpoons, and as a little bit of a bit more information, as you are looking over to see if the two airships are still attached, you see that the crew of the other ship is as fast as they can loading more cannonballs into the cannons.
Rebus will grab the wheel and removing the rope that's kind of locked it into place, spin it all the way over to the side that the other ship is, and try and crash into it.
Oh!
All right then.
Okay.
We didn't start this fight, but we're going to end it.
So,
What it is,
Balls
what
to
he
the
said?
wall.
It's a
Okay.
good day to die.
yeah.
No, it isn't.
So this is going to
Everyone
be.
needs to stop saying that.
I would imagine
Shut up,
that
AZ.
Jeremiah has cut like tires and has just like stapled tires along the edge for this very occasion, just in case.
Yeah. But they only got halfway because they got distracted halfway through.
Yeah, more than likely.
Gonna play some bumper cars.
This is going to take your action to do so.
That's fine by me.
Excellent. You whip off the rope that was holding the ship a course and just woof, whip it to start. And you all feel the ship just bear to the right. I'm going
Shouts out.
Hold on. Here
So-
we go.
I'm going to need Haystack. I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw from you. I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw from you as well, Grim. Only you two, because Jeremiah, Hazy, and Illy are actually tied to the ship, so the consequences of this are not going to be as great to them. So,
Just as a reminder, I did specify that my rope has enough slack that if I did go over, I'd be like hanging. So should I maybe make a check?
you did do that. So
Yeah.
sure, yeah, you should probably make one too.
I have been running about the ship, so I kind of either had a long line or tied, so I probably ought to make it as well.
Sure.
I'm
Fuck
fine.
it.
Just
Everybody
confirm,
apart from
you said this was a
Jeremiah.
dex
Sorry.
check?
Yeah, dexterity saving throw, please.
I got a
I have a
natural
negative
one.
one in this.
Oh, balls.
Okay, Grim gets a natural 1. Haystack,
I got a 17.
17. Okay. Illy,
17, I rolled the exact same as the previous dex check.
17 for you. Hazy, that does not look like the face of an individual that's just rolled high.
I rolled a 5, minus 1 for 4.
4. Okay. Here's what happens. Rebus, you just spin the wheel, and you all feel the ship just start to kind of lean to the right.
It's time to meet you.
Exactly that. As the ship just collides into the other ship, and as it does so, you see Haystack, you tip out of the crow's nest but grab onto the edge, and you manage to hold on and hoist yourself back in. Illy, you don't go overboard because you manage to, as the ship tilts to the right, drop your the weight to get your center of balance towards your base, and you just crash into the side of the banister of the ship. Grim. You, however, do not. You, as the ship collides, almost at the point of the ship that you are stood, you hit the side of the ship that we are currently on, the SSS Gacestes, and you tip over the edge of.
Cost better for
If I could add to this, he swan dives.
Oh,
He feels the momentum and just.
However, you do not swan dive off the ship into the nothingness. You land, boof, almost into a front roll onto the front bow of the enemy ship.
Oh, but I wanted to go off the edge of the ship.
I know, but you could experience that. You could experience that serendipitously.
No, I wouldn't have
as Hazy woof, just flies over the edge of the ship, wrapping an arm round the rope that you're attached to, and you just woof, woof. You are now, I would say, 20 feet off the edge of the ship, hanging by a rope between.
Die Hard.
Exactly, but you are now between the two ships. You're not quite underneath them, so you are very much in a point of, if these collide, squishy juice.
Well, this is certainly
Lovely.
an opportunity.
However, Rebus, I would like you to roll me. I would like you to roll me 8d8, please.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's kamikaze time, right?
Yeah, what the hell, right?
Right?
I'm going to do this on... Beyond, okay.
That is a lot of dice, chat. You are
That is.
absolutely right.
42.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Some high rolls in there. 2 8s.
So I like that you brought attention to that one, Dan, but not the one that just says "fuck you, Dan."
I know, because right. So do you know when I made the comment before about the abuse I get in chat is purely from my own players? That's Natalie, one of our players. It's just like,
hey, Natalie's
it's
responsible
fully
for the
deserved.
SS Resistus.
No,
So
it's fine. It's fine. I get it. So, so you deal 44 points of damage to the enemy ship and half that to your own as you collide. Oh, did I mention that as this ship hits and collides behind you, Rufus, you hear, "Oh no, 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 no," as the captain slides across the ship on their back, like wailing around on the floor as they crash into the side banister, and they get knocked unconscious
It's fine.
by
There should be
their head
insurances.
just clattering in. However, as the ship does collide, Rebus, you get that unmistakable sensation of the ship go as the engine that was keeping the ship afloat ceases. As it
The engine that didn't exist until Jeremiah brought it up half an hour ago.
Yep. That
The
engine.
magical engine.
Yep. The magic engine
I put it there.
ceases, and you see the ship start to plummet. The other ship on the opposite side alters its course to hold trajectory as the bow of the ship tilts forward. Hazy, you just begin to kind of swing back towards the back of the ship, like, whoa!
Fuck!
But that is any bonus actions or movement from you, Rebus, on your turn. This is still Rebus's turn. Mad.
you're not done yet.
Hey, you got to take a bite of the peach when you can, right?
That's the thing people say.
A way to describe it.
Okay. So
Just not to metagame, but surely the villains should be making saves to see if they get knocked off as well. And sure, the two unconscious people just failed.
yeah,
A very good point.
yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, if Jeremiah had managed to kill the guy in front of me, I was fully just going to pick up the spellcaster and throw her off.
One way of doing it.
So the individual that is on fire, blistering, necrotic damage is continuous, actually rolled a natural 20 on their dexterity saving throw. Like, the ship crashes and he's like, I've got enough shit going on. I'm just going to ignore that, and by sheer power of will, just stays glued in the spot that he's in, just like, fucking shit. Trying to pull the armor off. You are absolutely right, though, as Private Parts and the other individual just
Not
private
parts.
Free to the wind.
and they just fly off the edge of the ship, and you do see them just vanish. And on that point, I will say, Jordan, I don't mind metagaming with stuff like that, because I always forget minor rule bits when it's in the heat of the moment. So by all means, call it out. No problem.
No, genuinely, only because in my head, my entire plan was That guy in front of me must be nearly dead. Jeremiah's going to shoot him, kill him. I'm going to walk over, pick up the spellcaster and throw her off, and then have a moral quandary about whether or not that was an evil thing to do.
And then take a swig of rum and forget
so
the whole thing ever happened.
You've saved me that moral quandary. Oh yeah, by the way, the whole time, fucking fuck.
To see someone.
Fuck you bastard! Fucking Christ! Or fucking Baron Sandy.
At the end of your turn, Rebus, it is Jeremiah.
Oh, hang on.
Oh no,
Okay.
sorry. Did you want to do something else, Rebus?
Not even necessarily that. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Which side is the captain versus which side is the other ship?
So they've now slid across and have knocked themselves unconscious here.
Yep.
Oh God. I will get the ring to do that. There you go. They are unconscious there. And the other ship is on this right side here.
So it is on that right side.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Okay, Rebus will shout, everybody, debunk her immediately! She's going down! I told you she were doomed! And runs over to the captain to basically... It'll be an action to do it, but basically to grab the captain and...
Okay, so you're getting prepared to do that next round, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem. Jeremiah.
Okay, so hearing that, I'm gonna shout back,
No, I think I would have fixed it! Or no! Now that it's stopped! Probably don't have time. Oh no!
and then Jeremiah sort of like having this like deliberation, and then look up and go,
Wait, where did Hazy go?
Just
Hazy, where are
a
you?
load of Scottish swearing coming from the side of the ship.
Bastard, you.
Right, that fuck.
Oh, hells.
and I'm gonna head on over there.
And just a plume of smoke coming up.
Yeah, that's probably
You know
the
where he
only
is.
way you'd know where he is. It's just the
Yeah.
only plume of whitish smoke coming up. You're like,
We
oh,
thought
there.
it was the engine. It's hazy.
It's actually, yeah.
That's smoking.
Yeah, I'll head over to where Hazy is and look down, and I go,
You hanging in there?
Aye, that's quite literally. And I pulled a whiskey bottle from my belt and just take it away.
oh, and Jeremiah's just gonna point the gun at Hazy this time.
Okay, so
I just get a look up and it's like, I'm not that close yet, surely.
So, before you take your action, you run past this individual. They will gain
Damn it.
they will get an opportunity attack against you. I will roll it with disadvantage because he's on fire.
He's on fire.
Oh, you're so lucky. That was a natural 20. Oh, that's not as good. That was a natural 19 for a 20 plus 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
This guy.
I know. So it's a 1d8. That is... Can't read them. Beautiful dice from Valkyrie RPG, though. Really good. That is going to be a total of 6 points of slashing damage.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
That's always a great selling point. Beautiful dice, can't read them.
No. It's because of where it was in the dice tray.
I know completely. There's a set I have from our sponsor which are gorgeous. I cannot use them. Because unless you have them under like a just right spotlight, you cannot read them.
As Jeremiah gets hit, they just flip the guy the bird and carry on.
Nice.
And then point this gun at Hazy. And as Hazy is probably panicking, I'm going to cast Vortex Warp so that
Nice.
Hazy can be teleported onto where next to Grim, wherever Grim is on the other ship.
Okay, so you
It's like,
teleport
you don't
him.
bring me back onto the ship. You're sending me onto the other ship.
Yeah, well, that's what Reba said to do.
Okay,
So that's what I'm doing.
Woof, woof. Teleports you onto the opposite ship. As you kind of land, Hazy, you are currently surrounded by around 6 other individuals on the other ship. However, because of Rebus hasn't altered the course, these ships are very much next to each other, plummeting, like almost like touching as they're... Because Rebus has left the ship on a right angle, so it's just essentially just falling into the side of this other ship.
I appear surrounded by enemies and just look over at Jeremiah. I was like, Jeremiah, the fuck?
It's like, trust me. I'm coming.
Okay, anything else on your turn, Jeremiah?
I mean, if the guy still has the armor on, I can do heat metal again.
He does still have the armor on. Let's be honest. He's still got that armor on.
He's gonna take another 3d8. That is 13 points of damage.
Oh, not quite enough to drop him though. He's very low, but he's not quite enough. But you just like, I just click the heat metal as he just reheats. He's like, fuck it, fuck. And he's just trying to pull any. He's even taking his gloves off. They're not metal. He's just taking anything he can get off. But that's it's a substantial amount of damage. So very good. Anything else on your turn?
No, I've moved as far as I can.
Excellent. Hazy, you are vortex warped into the on board the other ship, right next to Grim, at the start of your turn.
You did say I was surrounded by like 6 people.
Yeah, not within like 5 feet, not like completely
Oh,
surrounded.
God damn it, that was the actual question. Look at how close.
They are within 10 to 15 feet of you.
No, the correct answer was within 5 feet, but okay.
You could move.
Yeah, but I was hoping it could be like within like 5 feet of 6 of them. Because okay, well,
You can tell he's a DM.
Yeah.
so that was right. Okay, if I were to move, how many of them can I get within 5 feet of me at one time?
I will say 3 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna move up so I've got 3 of them within 5 feet of me, and I'm gonna cast Word of Radiance, which isn't a ton, but I need all 3 of them to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay, that's fine. So that will be 1 is an 11, a 10, and a 6. All
All
fail.
God.
Yeah.
So they're each
Nice.
going to take 2d6 radiant damage.
Okay.
So 5 radiant damage each. So as I step forward, take a big pull on the pipe, pull out the rum, and as I pull in the pipe, it flares red at the end of the pipe. Take the rum, take a swig on my mouth, and just breathe it over the top of the pipe. And where it would look like fire, it like erupts into a bright white light instead as I spin around, catching all of them in this light. And they each take 5 radiant damage.
Nice.
Excellent. Very
And
good.
Then I turn bonus action, point at Jeremiah and say, I suppose thanks are in order. And I cast Healing Word on Jeremiah, because obviously they just got hit.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So,
I'm actually only missing 3 hit points because I had some temp HP from Grim.
which is good because it is Healing Word, so it's only 1d4.
That's true.
Which is a 1 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is actually plus. That's
I think the minimum for you is 4, right? Because your wisdom mod's 3.
My wisdom mod is plus 4, so it's actually 5 you get back.
5
Yeah,
hit
Nice.
points.
5.
Well, I only need 3,
didn't even
but
need to
thank
roll.
you.
Very
Oh,
good.
there you go.
So it's bonus action. Any movement from you, Hazy?
I mean, I did move to get in between those 3 guys, so
Yep.
wherever that would have put me.
I would say you've probably got 20 feet left.
I mean, I don't really want to move out of range of 3 people, so stay where I am.
Okay, that's fine. No problem.
Nice
so,
bait there, Dan. Nice try. Nice
Yeah,
try.
tried.
Baron
You gotta try.
Sandy's going to be welcoming a lot of people through the gate today.
Top of the initiative order is the enemy ship, and they are going to fire another 3 cannonballs into your ship. You see, for those of you more eagle-eyed amongst you, you see that they are all turning the cannons towards the point where your ships are intersecting, and they are going to fire to try and blow you guys out of the sky and kind of part from there. First one will hit. Second will also hit. Third one will also hit. All 3 cannonballs crash into the side of your ship, causing your ship to jolt left and almost detach from their own. You also see the individuals on the ship scrambling to the side and are hacking the ropes now to take them off and kind of like anything that was kind of attaching the two ships. They are hacking the ropes now to kind of make that break.
He just looks back at Jeremiah and just mouths the words, "What the fuck?"
You just get a shrug.
Okay. Top of the initiative order is the Burning Man. I can't believe this dude's still fucking alive. He
Neither
will go,
can we.
and he will go to the side next to you, Jeremiah, in this ball of flames, and will. Okay, let me just. He'll try. I think I'm going to try the shove action.
Go.
Because I am.
How dare you?
I am awful. 1 second. Okay. I always forget how this works. Is it a contested athletics?
Contested strength, yeah.
Contested athletics,
first have to
isn't it?
roll an attack roll to see if you hit, because it takes an attack action, or what part of your attack action to do. So you have to roll to see if you hit the AC, and then it's opposed athletics checks, or Jeremiah would have athletics or acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Does a 4 hit?
Funnily enough, no.
Bastard!
I mean, he's got 2 attacks, right?
He literally goes to shove you, and you don't budge an inch, and you're just like, the fuck.
He has
dude?
2 attacks, though, doesn't he?
Yes, but the shove will be. It's an action, so.
Well, it's part of your attack action. It's not
attack.
actually. It's. Yeah, so if you have multiple attacks, you can attempt to do it multiple times.
I also didn't want to interrupt because you're already rolling for the attack, but you make it in place of the attack roll, so it's like a grapple.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, cool. So I can do this twice.
Yeah, I guess
Let's do
so.
it. Let's do it twice.
You got
then.
2 attacks. You got 2 shoves.
Does a 12 hit?
No.
Mother.
There you go.
Oh no, as I said, in this case, it's not. You don't make the attack roll. It's just it's just a contest.
Wait,
someone-
what?
Can somebody?
It's a contest. You have to roll against the strength.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So there's-
it's a modified version of a grapple, but instead of grappling them, you just push them.
Okay. So you need to roll against the 12.
Okay.
And you can, but like a grapple, you can roll strength or athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
I like this way less.
I love this way.
I rolled a 12 acrobatics.
I will say that this shove doesn't work. Can somebody just take care of this guy? Like, he's not hit a single person. Has been set on fire.
Benny's on it.
Fucking Private Parts did more damage and he went down in 1 round. Okay.
Jeremiah just sort of looks down, looks up at the guy, and just like levels point blank the gun in his face, ready to go.
Make me an intimidation check.
Because
Because he's about to wet himself and put the flames out.
He tries to shove you, and it's just like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
It's a 9.
A 9. Okay. Illy.
I'm only little. I probably
You're-
can't reach his head.
You are up.
I think there's only one humane thing to do, which is try and put this guy out of his misery.
Very good.
There's only one humane thing here: murder.
Go ahead and
Well,
roll me
at least
to
I
hit.
try, but that's a 10.
A 10 will not hit, unfortunately.
The guy's
Oh,
on the
I had a plan for this, but he's gonna have to take my bonus action as well.
Okay.
21.
21 will hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage. This guy is on his last legs.
He will probably. So that's. I couldn't have rolled worse. What I could have rolled slightly worse. That is a whole 7 points of damage.
Which is exactly what you need. How do you want to do this?
There we go.
Yay!
Oh, just no.
Stop.
That was a 1, a 1, and a 2 on the dice.
Nice. You launch this spirit blade and it clashes into the side of this guy as he drops and he's like,
Finally.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. As he just slumps onto the ground, you are all out of combat. But I'm going to keep this music because there's still shit to do.
I mean, I'm still very much in combat over here.
Exactly. Bessa says, "This is Sparta!"
Thanks, Rob.
So, combat has ended. The ship is plummeting. The cannons strike into the side of the ship, loosening it from the enemy vessel, and it just starts losing altitude as you, Grim and Hazy, feel the enemy ship start to level out ever so slightly. I'm going to come to you two first, as I think it's imperative for you guys to do something.
Gotcha. No problem. So first things first, Benny is going to fly over to the dude that was on fire and just pee on him.
I'm going to say that's a free action to do so.
Appreciate that. That's great.
It is.
And Grim is going to cast Fly on himself, fly over to Jeremiah and say, "I got your goggles, don't worry," and start flying him back to the ship that's not plummeting to its demise.
Okay, so you take off and fly down and pick Jeremiah up and start flying back. Okay.
Jeremiah's
Hazy.
just wildly aiming the gun, trying to look hard, as he's being carried like a baby.
Nice.
I think you're tiny. I mean, I'm pretty big for a dwarf. I think it's more he's just like got you up on like his shoulder and bicep sort of deal. Like you're
if we
riding
were
a
okay
bike
with
sort
me
of
picking Jeremiah up by the scruff earlier, I think this
Right.
should be fine.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Hazy, as you see Grim just take flight and fly off to the ship below you, kind of just leaving you surrounded by enemies.
The dwarf, he's fine.
What do you want to do? Hazy?
Hazy.
Trying to think, I'm just sort of surrounded by people. Do I just continue hitting people?
Yes.
Of
That's our ship now. Kill them. Kill them.
the people around me, does it? Like, am I just like? Are these just like deckhands and like standard pirates, or is there anyone here who looks like is like a bit weaker, a bit more important, who's near me?
You get the general sense that the strongest fighters they had at the time have probably been dispatched onto your ship and have then since been dispatched again by yourselves. It does look like a general mismatch of deckhands. You see that the people that are surrounding you very much don't seem to be wearing as much armaments. They have very rusted weapons. A few even look like they're carrying old injuries. It very much just gives you the impression that the people left on the ship currently are the lesser of the enemies, if that makes sense.
So I get the impression that the person who was shouted earlier, pull over, was that the fellow that we just murderized, or is he still on this ship?
You look up to the helm of this ship and you see this individual with a long black beard, long black hair, huge pirate hat. We're talking Pirates of the Caribbean dude, where it's he's blowing the fucking feather. It's massive, this pirate hat. He's wearing this long blue, rather dark blue long coat with a beautiful kind of greyish silvered waistcoat with this gold filigree throughout. Has cross bandoliers with, from at first count, with a glance, at least 4 pistols, 2 in each bandolier, and two swords, one on either side of their waist.
So interestingly, I didn't expect myself to be on the front line, surrounded by
weird.
people, mostly on my own, having built a healer with some combat abilities. Was not expecting to be in this position. So I'm going to lean into the whole cleric of the grave, follower of Baron Samedi. Having already described myself as being like very intimidating looking, do I think I could like scare the guys near me enough that they would just like I could just walk away without getting attacked by them? Having already stepped up and just like burned them all with radiance?
Quite possibly. It would depend on obviously what you do.
Well, that's the thing. I want to like flavor it that I'm like essentially threatening them to allow me to approach the captain by just like pulling on my abilities, like puffing on the pipe, and the the smoke, blowing out the smoke, and the haze sort of fall like or surround me again, and then from within that smoke, just like summoning the powers of Baron Samedi and the skull face paint, like glowing bright light within that smoke, just to try. Essentially, I'm trying to look. I'm trying to find a. I'm trying to find a sort of story way that I can walk away from 3 people without getting it back an opportunity. That's what I'm fishing here.
Okay. Firstly, make me an intimidation check.
Beautiful. Let me just scroll back up to my top of my character sheet to find out that I have a +0 in this.
You do still? Do you have inspiration?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone's given me one.
I will
You
quickly
had
scroll.
one from earlier.
You did have one, but
you
I
did
don't
have
know
one.
if you used it.
I don't know if
Did
you
I?
used.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
I
cool.
don't think you used it. Yeah.
I definitely didn't because I didn't think I had one. So
There
here
you
we go.
are.
Come on, don't fuck me now. Well, it's a 15.
A
There you
15.
go. An 8
Okay.
and a 15, so.
Okay. With a 15, as you just... I think what's playing into your favor at this point is that being the only person aboard this ship, instead of like the look of fear and panic that may strike the face of many in your position, you just furrow the brow and race and dart directly at 3 people, which takes a lot of these individuals back. Like, holy fucking like...
Oh yeah, and as far as they're aware, me appearing on the ship was totally by design.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's still that trepidation in their eyes, and then you just kind of stand and kind of, as you're puffing on the pipe and exhaling, you're almost like building yourself up and puffing the chest out, chin up, and they just kind of step back 5 feet from you, waiting for you to make the first move.
I just like calmly step past them. Is the captain within 25 feet of me?
He's not. He's going to be around 50, 60 feet. He's at the other end of the ship to where you are at the moment. And as you kind of step a couple of feet towards that direction, he goes,
It looks like we got one to take hostage. Bow down or join me crew. Or if you don't, you'll be seeing the deep blue.
I only follow one being.
And is it still my turn?
Yeah, sure, we'll allow
Cool.
it.
I reach out my hand, and again, the face paint, the skull glows, and the smoke sort of, again, just sort of billowing around me. It spirals around my arm and races towards the captain, and just behind him appears I hadn't even considered what my spiritual weapon would be. I'm going to say it's just like a jagged, like, bottle of rum that's been, like, smashed.
Got a bottle.
Nice.
Just forms out of the smoke behind him, and then is going to try and shank him.
Okay, go ahead and roll me to hit, please.
Brilliant.
Please tell me
Nice.
it has a skull and crossbones sticker on the side
Oh,
of it.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I mean,
bar
we're talking
finder.
proper, like, again, for those unaware, my character is, like, following Baron Samedi, who was one of the Haitian Loa, and he was, like, their god of the dead, and he was, like, but he was often... See, anytime you see, like, a voodoo doctor in any sort of media, and they, like, have the skull face paint, they're meant to be representing Baron Samedi, but he was often used to, like, entreat to stop people from dying and keep them alive and to, like, to break curses and stuff. But he was also, like, seen as, like, a proper fucking, like, layabout and womanizer who loved rum and cigars. So to entreat him, he would be given offerings of rum and cigars and shit like that. So, yeah, it is a proper, like, old-timey sort of, like, pirate era sort of Jamaican rum bottle with a skull and crossbones on it.
I've never been religious, but all of a sudden I've been struck by the need to find out more about this religion. This sounds amazing.
So the Haitian lore are it's great fun reading up on them. It's very weird because obviously Haiti obviously was largely influenced by like the slave trade that was brought over. So a lot of it is based on like Catholicism, but then they adapted a lot of it. So these are the Haitian lore are sort of their version of saints a little bit. It's a lot more detailed than that, but that's like a sort of Cliff Notes version. And it is a very interesting read. I highly recommend reading up on it for anyone who's interested. Anyway, let's get on to my attack. That is a 13 plus 8 for a 20, whatever that would be, 21.
21 will hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
I mean, it is just spiritual weapon. I don't think that does a ton, but still, I'm shanking him with a rum bottle, so the irony is not lost on me that I'm shanking a pirate with a rum bottle. That is going to be 1d8. Plus my spellcasting modifier, which we already determined was 4. So that is a 7 plus 4 for an 11 piercing damage. Whatever the fucking damage I do. Radiant damage.
As you hear the pirate
Force
captain turn to you,
Well, I guess she made her choice. Yeah.
and just kind of
I serve Baron Samdi and none other. Take that, you windbag!
nice. In the
And
meantime,
right then, that's when Grim lands on
Just,
the
like,
deck
lands
of
next to me.
Jeremiah.
Glad you came back.
so in the meantime, Haystack, Illy, Rebus, you are on board this ship. It is plummeting. You are now seeing the distance between the two ships become even greater. You are the last 3 plus the captain still aboard. What do you guys want to do?
And the cat.
Oh, the cat's yeah, and the cat. I forgot about the cat.
Not the cat.
Benny will get the cat.
How much distance is now growing between our ships and theirs?
You're probably around 40 feet and gaining.
Just so you know, I have every intention of dropping off Jeremiah and then booking it back down to start ferrying people.
Okay.
So
I don't know how many I can get, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I will say, Haystack, it's probably a little bit less for you. You're probably still only around 10 to 15 feet from the ship in terms of distance. So because obviously you're still in the crow's nest, and as it,
I'm going to, as I'm still where I am, Haystack's going to look down and just go, if you do come up here, I can help you get over there a bit easier, but I'm going to need you to come up the mast. I got this. Just
He's so chill. He's falling to his death.
Cool, guys. It's fine, bro.
I love that.
It's not my day to die.
I've seen death. Smoked a blunt with him. We're good friends. I'm going to his house on Sunday for dinner.
He loves the smoke.
Yep. Okay, so
that's why Haystack's going to ask those two to join him in the crow's nest.
Okay, Illy, Rebus, you hear this. Rebus, you lift the captain onto your shoulder, as you mentioned previously.
Yeah, book it up the netting.
Okay, Illy, what are you doing?
I'm booking it up the netting.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to need athletics checks from both of you to see how quickly you can. I'm going to say Rebus is... No, we're going to go straight rolls. I'm not... You're a strong dude.
I am wearing gloves of climbing and swimming.
Are you?
Hey!
Nice! Love this. So, go ahead. That would give you advantage on this roll, I believe.
Just gives you a climbing speed, doesn't
Just
it?
gives you a
gives
straight
you
climb
climbing
speed.
speed and +5 bonus to strength made to climb or swim.
Excellent. So, go ahead and make your rolls.
Can it be acrobatics instead of athletics?
Do you know if it could have been, I'd have asked for an acrobat. It's unfortunately it's going to be an athletics check, mate. Or
That
in
is a
fact,
10.
you tell me how you're going to acrobatically climb up this rigging, and I might consider it.
Cartwheel up.
Yeah, backflipping.
Yeah.
Parkour!
I remember at school in gym we had rope breaking like this in gymnastics.
Yeah,
She's got you there. That was in gymnastics.
it was in gymnastics. Okay, if
That was
that's
rope school.
in that case, then can I have an athletics check from you, please?
No, the athletics was a 10.
A 10. Okay,
23.
You still have an advantage?
23. You
No,
do
I used my inspiration.
use your inspiration. Okay, so a 10 is fine. Anything less than that may have caused some issues, but you kind of like start climbing up, and you see Rebus next to you with the captain on his shoulder, just kind of like so nonchalantly, just like whoop up this bloody road, and you're like, motherfucker.
Was born in the rigging.
What is this?
Really awkward, but I fell.
That's the story.
What is effectively taking you so much concentration and hard work to get up, Rebus is effectively just like walking up this bloody rope to get up. As during the time that it's taking you to climb up and get towards the crow's nest, Grim, you drop Jeremiah off and just woof, fly back up. I'm going to say that by the time Rebus and Illy get up to the crow's nest, you meet them at that point. So
I'll have a hand out to Illy and start flying back as soon as I grab her.
okay, so you grab Illy, and almost as you grab Grim's hand, Illy, the ship just drops from your feet. It's not like he pulls you up, you just stay where you are, and the ship drops below your feet. Haystack, Rebus, what are you doing?
So even with the drop, like I was about 10 feet before, but it's only like how much
20
now?
to 25 feet now.
25 feet, that's fine. Looking to the both of them, there's just a very chilled smile on Haystack. So he's like, "It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we got."
It's where he found he doesn't have a plan. He's just like, "We're just gonna die. It's fine."
Chill, guys.
It's fine.
No. So because he is technically an Eladrin and a spring Eladrin at that, he's just going to place a hand to the captain and Rebus, and using the spring Eladrin ability to teleport someone else using their Fey Step ability, he is just going to push both of them, and in like a puff of pollen and sort of nice flower petals, they just push off and are now on the deck of the ship on the other side.
So that's Rebus and the captain teleports.
Yep. And then because I have the boots of
Haystack just stands.
as you watch him
Told you it'd be
sort of like,
fine.
as you watch him Jack Sparrowing his way sort of just down, because he has the boots of flying, I'm going to use my fly speed to basically step onto a set of little arcane bees and just start walking gently across to the other ship.
Incredible.
This is beautiful.
Incredible.
I like that some people very clearly built their characters around being on an airship, and then some of us didn't.
So good. Haystack, do you have inspiration? Because if not, you can have inspiration for that, because that was incredible descriptive. Very
was so
well
good.
done. So, guys, Jeremiah, Hazy, Illy, Rebus, Grim, Haystack, you all convene with the captain unconscious in hand to the central point of the ship that has just sent the SS Gazestus down to its doom. With the cat. Nobody saved the cat. The cat's gone.
No. Benny's on the cat. Benny's looking for the cat. Benny's like flying.
Benny's on the ship.
Can Benny fly?
He can fly.
Oh, we're good. Okay,
He's a
I was going to say
dragon.
R.I.P. Benny.
No. And I can snap my fingers and summon him whenever I want.
That's
no,
good.
Benny flies through the ship and finds the cat like hiding in the kitchen cupboards that are all like flying around and everything, scoops up the cat, and then as Haystack is like stepping his way up across invisible bees up to the other ship, Benny just flies up next to him holding this cat, like flapping his wings and just...
Haystack just looks and goes, "Oh, we do have a cat."
I've never seen that cat before in my life.
You all convene surrounded by enemy forces, all of which pointing weaponry in your direction.
Yeah, you guys all appear, and he's just like making like stabbing motions, and the captain's going,
Right, fucking get you.
And as this happens, and the captain gets stabbed in the back by a broken, bottled spirit weapon, he turns to all and goes,
Arr! So then, you made your choice. Now you either live or die by it.
and he smacks the steering wheel of the ship, causing it to almost nosedive out of the current trajectory it was on, as you all feel your feet lift from the deck ever so slightly. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Can I, just as I think, as we lift in the air and he does that, because I don't think I'm ever going to have a chance to use this ability otherwise, as he's doing it, can I activate my Eyes of the Grave just to see if he's an undead or not?
Oh, yes, you can.
He's willing to, like, suicide bomb us? I'm like, hold on a second. Whom?
Yes, you can. You let out the Eyes of the Grave, and we'll find out what happens next section.
Nice. You don't get any information.
So
after the DM says no, it's gone.
That is where
Well, he's going to go and rewrite the story now.
I know.
He's just suddenly like, I'm dead. Oh,
Yeah,
hang on.
undead is so much better.
How do you spell undead?
He
Guys,
does not want to, he does
we're
not
doing
want to
Treasure
be undead,
Planet!
I'll kill them all.
Oh, yes.
Gayest Disney film.
Loved it.
So we will pick this up next time, where we find out exactly what happens to this wonderful crew. I just want to say, you guys have been amazing. This has been so much fun. This has been so much fun. Yeah, it's been
You've been great
amazing
as well. It's a great wee one shot. I'm really enjoying this.
Thank you.
And I'm
very
not
much.
only saying that because I never get to play.
This has been amazing. So I have been Dan. I am the resident Dungeon Master here at Tales on Tap. Make sure you tune in every week on a Tuesday to come and see more Tales on Tap goodness. We will organise between like this session finishing and the next time we do this, because we're all like DMs, players, we've got huge like commitments already, but we will find a date to either stream this again or pre-record it to get you guys the finale of this one shot. But it isn't about me. This is about the wonderful people that have come to join us at the table this evening. So I'm going to go around to each one of you. You all need to obviously introduce yourselves again, tell people where they can find your content. Please plug away, announce any upcoming streams, podcasts, anything that you've got going on. Starting off with you, Miko, do you want to say farewell to everyone, introduce yourself again, tell people where we can find your stuff?
Yeah, I can do this thing. So thank you everyone for joining us in the chat. You guys were amazing. Loved all of the interactions there. It's such a thrill when we get to do that sort of thing. And thank you to all of you at the table. This was a ton of fun for me. I don't get to play that many games as well, so I relish it every opportunity that I get. I am Miko, otherwise known as the Okayest GM. Best way to get to find out anything I've got going on is just go to theokayestgm.com. That connects you with all of my socials and all of that. I am a co-founder and a creator over on Folk and Myth. We have a Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. If you want links to that, you can just go to folkandmyth.com. I would like to call out special though, we have a lot of events coming up this week, and some of them are for a really good cause. So tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I know that's not a good time for a lot of you UK folks, sorry about that, but that's my ongoing Eastera campaign. If you can't tune in live, of course it'll be up on the YouTube, so all of the past episodes are up on our YouTube channel as well. And also, this week, for a time that you guys may be able to tune in, Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing a charity stream in support of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It is part of the Greyhawk Mega Stream event, where we're doing 4 days of just back-to-back games across like a dozen different Twitch affiliate channels. They're all, we're trying to raise a ton of money for St. Jude's. Last year we raised $25,000. This year we're hoping to raise substantially more than that. But yeah, so my stream starts Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. It goes for 4 hours, and then I'm raiding into another stream after that. That's going to go for 4 hours, and then we're raiding into another stream after that. You kind of get the gist of it. Then in the evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Folk and Myth, we're also hosting another charity stream, part of the same event. A gentleman by the name of Kurt is jamming for us. He's awesome. But yeah, check out our socials. We've got tons of stuff going on. And then Saturday, we're participating in another one of the charity games across these 4 days. And any donations that are done affect the games that are being played. So you can donate to do crazy things. Like I've even got some pre-donations set up for my game where you can pre-donate and like give players magic items. You can help me create an NPC and force me to talk in it. Silly voice all day if you want. So we have all kinds of ways for interaction. There's going to be giveaways, and top donors can be in raffles for prize pools. There's all kinds of stuff. Check out our socials, Folk and Myth on the Twitters and a bunch of other places, or just go to folkandmyth.com for connecting to all of those socials, and you can learn more. But yeah, it's a busy week for me.
Thank you so much. And can I just say, Miko, thank you so much for joining us for this session this evening. Cool. It has been a genuine pleasure. And Chloe, do you want to say goodbye to everyone? Tell us where we can find more of your content, please.
Yeah, hey everyone, and bye everyone. I'm Chloe, or Chloe with the Flow, pretty much everywhere.
Change.
Yeah, I'm an actor, singer, composer, podcaster, streamer, jack of all trades, bard. That's me. Too many hats. But mostly you can find me on Deck of Many Aces, which is the only actual play podcast made with actual asexuals and aromantics. We release episodes every other Friday, though we're on hiatus at the minute. But we're back literally this Friday, actually, on Friday. And very soon I'm going to be... Actually, I don't think that's coming out till April, but I am running a short Monster of the Week campaign for our little sort of break between arcs, which has been very fun to record so far. So do check that out when it comes out. It's at Deck of Many Aces everywhere on all of the socials. That one doesn't have any underscores, so all of the socials like it. It's great. You can also find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever your platform of choices. My government name is Chloe Elliott, and that's also my artist name. So there you go. That's where you'll find it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, also I'm on a Rendezvous with Destiny, which is another podcast where we play bite marks. That's a system that is about werewolves. So we're all Scottish werewolves, and we're really good at being werewolves and really bad at being humans. It's so great.
I love that. I love that.
I thought for a split second here, they were really good at being werewolves, but really bad at being Scottish.
There's a range of accents, and there's three of us. There's the range of accents, including one Australian.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It has been wonderful having you as a player at our table this evening, Chloe. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Jordan, do you want to say goodbye to the good folk at home and tell us where we can find more things that you're doing, please?
Yes, goodbye, folk at home.
Of course.
Oh, Jordan. Or John. God.
Jordan and John sound very similar.
Jordan?
Jordan, you go, mate.
Jordan, you go first. You go first, and then we'll go to you next,
on your
John.
toes.
I thought I had completely misheard, and I felt like a dick. So...
That's right. That honours mine.
Dear like a headlights. Dear the headlights. Okay. Yes, I am Jordan, and much like my character, I did get through a few glasses of rum tonight, which is great because it's a school night. But you can find me on the socials. I am Wish I Was a Bard, because I do. I have no musical talent, but I post very little on my own things because I run most of the socials for our podcast, which is Modified Role. You can find us pretty much anywhere you get podcasts. If we're not on the one you use, tell us. We put it on there, usually. We are on YouTube, but we're slowly sort of uploading because, god damn it, making stuff for YouTube takes forever. But yeah, we are in the second official season of Modified Rule, which is very different from our first season. I'm DMing this one for a start, but it's a new world, new setting, new players, new story, and we're really, really enjoying it. The second season has been so much fun to record. We've actually just started the second story arc, so we now have our first arc of the second season is now up to listen to. You can binge the whole thing. And it's been really enjoyable. We have lots of laughs. We have lots of emotional sort of moments. I have absolutely inflicted a ton of emotional trauma on the guys, which has been great. I legitimately had one of the players just at one point say, yeah, my character lies on the ground and curls into the fetal position and stays there for an hour. I was like, yes, I'm doing it right. Well, yeah, you can find us pretty much everywhere, like I said. I'm also a professional GM with RuleDark. If you are in the UK specifically and you're looking for a professional DM to run some games for you, check out RuleDark. If you're in and around the East Midlands, you might get me. I
live in the East Midlands.
Do you need a professional GM? No, you've got Dan, it's fine.
I'm nowhere near professional GM.
I mean, neither am I, but people still pay me. Scratch that bit. Scratch that. I'm totally professional. But yeah, I'm also, as mentioned before, founder of Actual Play UK, but I'll let John talk a little bit more about that since he does the actual interesting bit, which is run the stream. So that is me. Wish I was a bard for the personal stuff, which has very little on it, at Modified Rule for the podcast.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It has been a pleasure. John? Absolutely.
I mean, Jordan, you can go again if you like me.
Sorry, is that Jordan again? Sorry, what?
Jordan. Yeah, I am John, not Jordan. It's been lovely here today, isn't it? This has been great. I am part of the Trolls of the Two Tunbridges podcast, which is TOTTB podcast on podcatchers and all of the socials and all of that kind of stuff. Also, as Jordan has brought up previously, I am the person that runs the stream over at Actual Play UK. Essentially, what you can do is head over there pretty much every Friday. We try to have a one-shot, two-shot, three-shot in some cases of many people around the Actual Play universe. All of these wonderful people. Dan has been on it, Chloe's been on it, for some reason Jordan's been on it.
For some, I mean, I did make the thing. It's only fair that I have to push myself on everyone else occasionally.
Yeah, exactly.
That came out really badly.
But you went pro. You can find another Erelon game that is happening tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK. And then on Friday will be part 2, and then the third and final part will be the next Friday after that. So come round, say hi, watch me play a Kenku that sounds like Keith Lemon.
Exactly. Oh, you couldn't have put that any better than that, because it is exactly that. It's brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us today, John. I really appreciate you coming in.
A pleasure.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. John, I'm going to come to you next. Do you want to say goodbye to the folk and tell people where they can find you?
Well,
right here, Dan. This is you can find me here.
That's where I live now. No, so obviously
Eternal rest. Right here.
This is where I've made my bed. No, I am the other Dan of the Tales on Tap place, the thing where the D&D is played, where we do our stuff. I lost my words, all right? Don't give me that look. Shut up. I don't have social medias or anything like that, but you can find me in our chat, in our game. I have stuff. And I will also be in on Miko's charity stream at 10 a.m. his time, but that's 3 o'clock our time. So if you want to join in from the UK, that's the time to do it from there. I'll be playing in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of things. And yeah, you can find me here every Tuesday, just doing my thing.
Amazing.
Messing up, trying my best.
Excellent. Thanks, Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
Love that. So, Ruth, I've left you to last, and it's not to kind of highlight the fact that obviously you've not come from a stream or a podcast, but more to give you my utmost heartfelt gratitude for you being here this evening. Thank you so much for coming and playing. I can't imagine what it must be like every Tuesday watching the normal group of fucking miscreants get up to like what they do on a Tuesday, but to actually come and play, it's been so nice having you here. So thank you so much for that. But do you want to say goodbye to everyone at home?
Goodbye, everyone at home. Quite a few of whom are friends of mine who have been messaging me through the stream, which has been quite fun. So thank you to all of them for coming along and supporting the stream. Thank you so much for having me here. It has been an absolute delight. I see why the party have so much fun playing with you guys every week. So, yeah, thank you. And I will be continuing to loiter in the tap chat and on the Discord, and mostly I'm over on the Valkyrie side of things. And I have to thank Danny, Goblin Brained Art, for the character art for Illy. They did an absolutely amazing job.
Amazing. Well, thank you. And I get thank you very much for coming and stepping up. It's pretty natural for the rest of us because we've week on week we're streaming, we're in podcasts, so it's a difficult thing to kind of step in front of the camera in front of a live audience for the first time. So my hat's off to you. You played amazingly as well. So very, very well done.
Thank you. I'm used to having a bird of prey to hide behind and a far smaller audience.
But you have been amazing. And of course, you will be coming back for the second part. So
Indeed.
Wonderful.
Can I also just ask, did you wait until now to bring up that you're a falconer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But no, I thank you everybody for coming and joining us this evening, and I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you at home who have come to support this wonderful collaboration that we've put together. You've been extremely generous with the bits, follows, with the subscriptions. It means the utmost to us to have you guys along for this wonderful adventure. I have dropped links in chats for everybody around the table. I've noticed that a load of people like frantically following and subscribing to all of our collective channels, which is wonderful. Please make sure that you keep an eye out on our socials, because we will be announcing the next and finale to this one shot very shortly once we organise when we can do it. Massive shout out to our sponsors as always. Yeah, thanks everybody for tonight. It's been absolutely wonderful. We will be back next Tuesday for Erelon, A Destined Journey, for our mainstay campaign. But if you haven't had enough of the Erelon goodness, as John says, then check out Actual Play UK tomorrow and Friday, then come back here Tuesday, then go back to Actual Play on Friday, and then come back to Tales on Tap the following Tuesday.
Who needs that much Dan in their life? I do!
Everybody!
God help us.
But this has been wonderful, so thanks very much everyone again for coming in. Anybody got any final words of wisdom they want to leave to the audience? No, cool, we'll leave it there then.
Always find the cat first.
Always find the cat first, and we will leave it there. Thank you so much, everybody. We love you very dearly. Please stick around. We're about to raid another channel, but you've been amazing. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.